This is a Big Blue Crew production.
Better unmute first. But yeah, let's get it, man. Shout out to the Big Blue Crew, man. You know what I'm saying? We back here. Another edition of Giants Conversations. Lots to get into, man. A lot of buzz going around with the Giants. Of course, you know, the Saquon Barkley situation. Got to touch on that. Training camp coming up Wednesday. We're going to touch on that as well. Giants signing a couple of free agent veterans. We'll talk about that. And then people going crazy over this Madden thing. So I guess I'll speak on that lightly. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jones coming in at QB number 21. So we'll get into all that. But how y'all doing out there? How y'all doing out there, man? New York Giants fans. Coach, what's good, man? What's good? Game time. You already know, man. It's about to be game time here shortly, too. I think it's less than 50 days away from the start of the NFL season. So I know a lot of people are excited. I am, of course. You know, we got big things planned this season, most definitely. Koof, man, what's good, man? What's popping, man? You know what I'm saying? Back on my early morning show, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. So we're going to get into some Giant conversations, man. The buzz is going around on social media, in the YouTube community, the Twitter community. So we're going to touch on that. I'm going to give y'all my unpopular opinions, of course, on all the news. So let's get it cracking, man. Let's get it cracking. We're going to start with the Saquon Barkley situation. Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants were not able to come to a contract agreement. And kind of touched on this on Heart of the City a little bit last Tuesday with my thoughts, man. But then this interview came out. So I watched the interview with Saquon Barkley, Money Matters podcast, I believe it is. Good podcast, by the way, man. Good show, man, about money. Which a lot of us are into money and into investing, man. That's a good show to check out. But Saquon opened up a lot about his thoughts about the contracts, the running back situation. And, you know, some people were taken back by it. But for me, and Saquon said it, the NFL is a business. It is a business. And you can say it's a dirty business, but that's what these guys sign up for. You know what I'm saying? And I respected Saquon Barkley, his maturity about it, not getting so much in his feelings, although he probably wanted to. You know, he stated on there that he is the best running back in the NFL. And he was not, he wanted to get paid, not even wanted to get paid like the best running back, but wanted to get paid as one of the best running backs, you know, not trying to reset the market. That's what he said. You know, from the Giants standpoint, he got tagged. They're like, hey, we're going to give you this, take it or leave it. And guess what? Saquon didn't take it, and he'll be playing on the tag this year. He will play on the tag. He pretty much said so for the most part, that he was going to be willing to play on the tag and come in and do it again. So we'll see, man. We'll see how this shakes out, man. But look, I'm not mad at the Giants. I'm not mad at Saquon. I'm kind of neutral in this situation right here because at the end of the day, guess what? I'm a Giants fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Giants fan, and I've been a Giants fan, and it is about more than one player. Now, a lot of people saying the Giants are going to be garbage without Saquon Barkley. A lot of people are saying that running backs don't matter. So there's two sides of it. You know what I'm saying? From the standpoint, the Giants can win games without Saquon Barkley. You know, they can win without him, just like they was losing with him in the years he was here outside of last season. So all this about the Giants can't win games without Saquon. I mean, yeah, can't win games without Saquon Barkley. It's crazy. It's crazy to think. And a lot of that is coming from the media. And a lot of that is coming because people don't like the New York Giants quarterback situation or quarterback, which is Daniel Jones. And that's where a lot of the heat comes from. You know, they don't like the Giants receivers. They don't like the Giants roster. I think somebody had it ranked near the bottom of the league, one of these rankings, these stupid rankings that they keep coming up with. You know what I'm saying? And they got our defense. I was listening to Coach Ed. Shout out to Coach, you know, on the Twitter space. And apparently they got our defense ranked 29th. So all of that to say this. If we're that bad from a roster standpoint, what difference would it make if Saquon plays or not? If apparently the Giants are that bad, according to the media. So tell me that. Tell me that. Koofman says the Giants are getting ready to play next man up football with or without Saquon Barkley, as they should. As they should. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about one player. It's not about one player. This is a team game. And Saquon said that himself. That's why a lot of you media people need to listen to the player and what they're actually saying. Saquon said himself that it's a 11-man game, and you know it's going to be about the team, next man up. You know, no mess. What's good, man? What's good, man? Saquon blew it. You could say that, and in a sense. But at the end of the day, I mean, that man wants a contract. That man wants a contract, and he deserves to get paid. I mean, I do believe that. Saquon deserves to get paid. Oh, I ain't send no links out. Man, damn, I'm slipping. It's early, y'all. Let me throw the link in the chat so y'all can come up and holler at me. I see you, Coach. But yeah, and that's the whole thing, man. That's what's crazy about this. You know what I'm saying? Is people saying, "Oh, you know, just take what they give you." Why would you take what somebody gives you if you know your worth? If I know I'm worth as a truck driver, you know, at least $75,000 a year. If I know that, why would I go to a company? And ask for 50. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the number was. I don't really get into these contract situations and all that. And some people saying that the relationship is broken between the Giants and Saquon right now. But he deserves to get what he feels like he's worth. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that. I don't think that's him being greedy. Now, where Saquon might have dropped the ball a little bit is, you know, passing on that contract at the bye week. He bet on himself. You know what I'm saying? So now you have to play for a lesser number than what they offered you at the bye week because he felt like he could have got more. That's why I think he kind of misjudged things. No Mets will not retire as a Giant. I don't know about that. We'll see. Maybe they can work this thing out. It doesn't feel like they can right now, but we'll see, man, because I do believe that Saquon Barkley wants to be here, and maybe they could work something out soon. We'll see, man. Coach, what's good, man? How you doing, brother?
Peace and blessings, man. How are you, man? What's going on? What's up, chat? Much love and respect to everybody. So I'm ready to come in and join the talk and trash talk if we got to. So what's up, Adam?
What's good, man? Yeah, man. Because this whole thing, man, that people going off about the Giants and Saquon Barkley, man. First of all, he's gonna play. And I think he's gonna play well. I don't think this is not the type of dude. That's why I like the interview, because you could see kind of the passion in Saquon's his demeanor, man. So this guy's gonna come in, he's gonna be ready to play. Will he show up for training camp? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? He knows the playbook, he knows what he needs to do. He will be in shape. He's not gonna come in on no fat boy shit, I don't believe. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to fat people.
No, I got you.
You know what kind of context I'm coming from with that, man. But so I don't know what people are going crazy about, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to stay out of people's pockets. Pocket watching, man. But what's your thoughts on that, Coach? Adam, I see you. What's good, man? What's good, Adam?
What's up, Tudo? Respect, bro.
Tudo, what's good, man? What's up? What's up, y'all, man? Thank y'all for chiming in, man.
I said it the other day. As far as the Saquon Barkley, I've already moved past this. I'm ready for training camp. But to entertain it, you said it earlier. Saquon said in the interview, it's a business. I've been saying this for the longest while. This is all business. Yes, fans, we want all our players. We want all the players in the world. If we could get all the greatest players on our team and just destroy everyone else, most fans would be happy with that. Let's be honest. That's what it boils down to. We just want to get as many great players on our team and then go out there and win and then trash talk all the other fan bases. That's what it really boils down to. But ultimately, this is if you take all of the emotions out of this and look at this from the perspective, this is a business, period. It doesn't matter if this is the NFL. It doesn't matter if it's your personal industry. Negotiations happen all the time. Business deals are won and lost. The bottom line is the best deal is when both sides say they left something on the table. And right now, both sides are standing pat with what they want, and eventually so they're both going to come down a little bit and both are going to leave something on the table. And that's really what it boils down to. Just like you said, Saquon is going to end up coming in. Think about it like this, okay? If the running backs, one of the knocks on the running backs is they're always beat up. Well, why come into training camp if you don't have to? You're not going to get penalized. You're not losing any money. You're not beating up your buddy. You're working out on your own. We've all seen the videos, him working with the Giants helmet. Hello, that's a subjective message. All right, that tells you, hey, he's rocking for the Giants, but he's doing what he has to do. It's not football shape, but he will come in enough time. He knows what to do to get in football shape. Period. And he'll be ready game one when we go out there and we punch the Dallas Cowboys in the mouth.
Facts, man. Yeah, I agree with this comment by No Mets. I have an issue with that too, because like I said, this is a team game. You know what I'm saying? Saquon has a right to know his value, but the Giants also have a right to say, look, next man up. You know what I'm saying? And to think that this team right here is going to not be able to perform when we all know what makes the running backs go, what makes the quarterbacks go, which is the lines. So if you think the Giants are not going to be able to perform, if their offensive line is stronger without Saquon Barkley, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, go watch some film or something. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not the whole entire Giants offense. Your quarterback gets paid the most money for a reason, A. The offensive linemen get paid more for a reason, B. And your coach is there for a reason, because with a bad coach, Saquon Barkley or nor Daniel Jones could do anything. Let me get to a couple comments here. I think the Giants should pay him. I do too. I mean, I wanted Saquon to get paid. Yeah,
we all do.
That's why I said I'm neutral in this thing. I see it from both sides. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to, like Met said, it's the reaction of the media that I'm trying to address here right now, because y'all need to pump the brakes. The Giants are going to be fine with or without Saquon Barkley. You know what I'm saying? Y'all did this with Odell Beckham Jr., you know what I'm saying? And now you're doing it again with Saquon Barkley, these high-profile players. And it's not even Saquon doing it. It's the media creating the narrative. Says, and I think Saquon sits out the season. He ain't sitting out the season. Ain't no way in hell. He's not sitting out the season. The man pretty much told you that. Y'all need to watch that entire interview, not just the tidbits and all that. It's an hour interview. Go watch the whole thing if you haven't already. And they can give him whatever they want. That's the thing, Adam. He lost leverage when he got when they tagged him, and he said that, and I've said that. While everybody else was saying, you know, my unpopular opinions, I do that. Hit the like button when everybody else was saying, oh, you know, Saquon has leverage. How? When you get tagged, your leverage is done. Either you play or you don't.
There's a different leverage. Bottom line is, it's just like with a union. When a union holds out, what are they holding out? Their services. That is still in a sense, leverage. But it's how much of a leverage is it? So, you know, when you say he doesn't have leverage, you know, I get it, but I say his players still have some semblance of leverage. You know, we just have to adjust and go on to the next man. That's really what it boils down to. Can't sign him to a long term after the season. So
after the season, so he's probably going to get tagged again unless they want to use it on another player, and we're going to go through this again next year. You know, because
you know what? It's the running back market, though.
And they had a meeting. Didn't they have a meeting? All the running backs supposedly had this Zoom meeting.
We don't know if it's all the running backs in the NFL. I heard it was the top running backs in the NFL. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I did hear there was some type of Zoom meeting or a call or whatever. Yeah. So who is in on it? I don't know. The only thing I would say, you got to be careful with that, because then you're going against the union, because technically this is collectively bargained. So and it's what your union agreed to. So
I don't think they're gonna start 0-5 too though. Here's the thing too though.
Arizona,
the Giants, yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry.
It's just it is panic. You know what I'm saying? First of all, he's gonna play. I would bet on him playing versus him not playing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would bet a high percentage on that. Now, as far as the offense is concerned, I mean, if the Evan Neal don't take your key points to this offense, whether Saquon is there or not, is Daniel Jones and Evan Neal. Well, really, I would say Evan Neal. Let's start there. That's the line. You know what I'm saying? Because if they can't get going, then ain't nothing going to be shaking anyway for any running back. You know what I'm saying? So I think we've seen the Giants play well as far as rushing without Saquon Barkley. I remember the year they had Wayne Gallman, Alfred Morris. They were running pretty well. So it really is about the offensive line. Yeah, and we're going to touch on the James Robinson signing. I'm gonna touch on that. I think that's more of a camp thing. That's more of an insurance thing. You know what I'm saying? For in case an injury happens. The media trashing Daniel Jones. That's what it is. They just don't like Daniel Jones. Nobody in the media likes Daniel Jones.
I think what it is they're feeding off the fan base. To be honest with you, and it's like sales, man. What are you doing? You're feeding and you're giving them what they want to hear, because it generates interest, and we all click on their stories and the article. If nobody was clicking on these people, these reporters, these journalists, the there's prognosticators. If nobody clicks on their stories, guess what happens? They go away.
Right.
They lose their jobs. That's really what it boils down to. And as long as fans get all in an uproar and we're battling back and forth, they see that they're smart. Come on, man. They're smart. These former NFL players, they know the business. They know it, man.
Right. They know that, man. And here's the thing. Adam says he was 29.7% of the offense. That's true. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Saquon is important to this team. I'm not saying that.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is the Giants is not going to go to shit if Saquon Barkley isn't playing. I promise you.
What's the biggest factor in all of that? It's he's roughly 30% of the offense. But the biggest factor is we have the great brain, a two-headed brain, if you want to say that, in Dable and Kafka.
Right.
And they do a great job of scheming the other players to fit into the system to be productive. So the other guys, they're just going to say, okay, well, how do we adjust and cover up for that 29? We have to use other players. We can't just use one player. So it makes us maybe a little bit more predictable, but we still have the opportunity to capitalize. We're just going to adjust and keep going. We did it last year.
Right, Coach. And you know why? Because, not to cut you off, but it's because the Giants last year, they needed to use Saquon that way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They needed to run the rock. I remember people saying that Saquon should run more. You know, they need to give him more because they didn't like the quarterback and they just wanted to hand the ball off to Saquon, and whatever have you, man. But I don't understand it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Brian Dable and Mike Kafka went out and they tried to improve this offense. They got Darren Waller, they got Paris Campbell, Hyatt, and all these receivers. They got goddamn 1,000 receivers. It seems like every time I pop up, it's another receivers. And so they got all these receivers. Got you a tight end. Got Daniel Bellinger in his second year. So let's see if Saquon is that much of the offense this year versus last year, where Darius Slayton, who everybody hates, was the number one receiver. So we'll see. Team was still willing to negotiate after the tag. Yeah, the whole damn deal. Yeah, prove it deals, basically. Those guys ain't Barkley. I agree.
No,
I'm not going to shit on Saquon Barkley at all.
Please do not think that that's what I'm saying. Those other guys are on the level of Saquon Barkley. But as a coach, what do? You look at those players. If that's the case, then you know what? You're shutting down your whole offense. You're saying basically, okay, we can't do anything. We can't run. They're still in the NFL. They still have to show something. They can still, at least, you know what, if they're getting you 4 yards on a running play, that's still somewhat productive. I understand it's a passing league and you get more yardage with the pass. 7 point whatever percentage versus 4. But still, in the run game, if you have a good effective running game, it helps your pass game. And that's all it boils down to. They're just going to look at these other players and how can we use them to fit into the offense.
And it's a reason that they drafted Eric Gray. You know, they bringing in James Robinson or whatever, man. I think the best thing, this could actually be a good thing for Saquon. Let me flip it. We all expect him to sit out training camp. At least I do. So you're not getting your body beat up. You know, you're able to get rested, ready for the season on your own accord. You know what I'm saying? You're not forced to go to all these practices and everything. And the Giants actually have stocked the running back room, so maybe they don't have to use Saquon for 30% of the plays. His usage actually, I think, went down. I think Big Pat did a good job on that video that he did about how the yardage in the second half wasn't as much. So go check out Big Pat, man, on that one. But Cowboys, man, fuck the Cowboys, man. Word up. Word up, man. Let me tell you, about the Cowboys and their turnover-prone quarterback, man. We could beat them without Barkley. I really believe that. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys, their biggest thing anyway is rushing the passes. So we got to worry about Evan Neal on that one because he got destroyed last year by them cats. Rafi, what's good, Rafi? Rafi says his grandpa passed away. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
Peace and love to you too, brother, man. And you know, shout out and prayers to your family. Sorry to hear that bad news. But is Barkley not the top player on offense? He is. Skill wise. But I mean
we all type slow, bro. I get you.
Yeah. I get it, Adam. You know what I'm saying, man. Shout out to Adam too, man. Go check out him, Mac, and that podcast
the Four
that they do tonight. Yeah. So premium takes. Let's see. Barkley hasn't been Barkley for us. We need him to play well. We need him to play well, but we don't need him to play. Well. I think people are getting things kind of you're taking the threat of Barkley versus his usage. You know what I'm saying? So basically, him being out on the field makes the defense think more. I agree, but production wise, you can get that from another running back. You can. That's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? But yes, he does change the way teams have to play us. So there is two sides to it. There is a balance. You know what I'm saying? But I'm addressing people saying that the Giants is just trash without Saquon Barkley. Those are the people that I'm pointing to, you know, not necessarily Adam or anybody in the chat. I'm just saying, like, we're gonna be okay if this were to play out differently. And I don't think it will. I think, like I said, I think he's gonna show up. Game one. We'll see what comes out of this little meeting that they having. You know, this little powwow the running backs are having, man. I mean, I think something does need to be done with the franchise tag. I think this is a legit argument. For real. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's more so because the franchise tag is for every player, really. So whoever you feel is your best player. So, but in terms of this, I think it's something that needs to be done with the running back market. I mean, there was something that was shown that there's a field goal kicker who's making more money than some of the lower paid running backs in the league. So it's like, you know, field goal kickers not out there often. You know, I mean, let's be real. So a running back's usage, you know,
well, unless Graham Gano seemed.
Well, they were talking about what's his name for the Ravens. So I mean, he is a good.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but the point is, we're talking about usage, the percentage of usage. You know, these running backs, even if they're second or third strings, their usage is still more than a kicker. So
agree, Adam.
The point is, there needs to be something done with the running back because it has diminished. And I get it's a passing league, but yes, some of these running backs, I mean, I think it was Derrick Henry, scrimmage yards last year was damn near 2,000 yards. Come on now. I mean, that's using him both in the run and the pass, So, and don't forget, running backs also pick up blitzing linebackers. So that's also, even though they're not running the ball, that's inclusive in there. So there has to be something done with the running back position. I'm not saying it's back to the days of Jim Brown or Barry Sanders or Walter Payton.
And that's the thing. A lot of us, in that come from that era, which is the era I started watching football.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, you go back a little bit further than me, but yeah, the running back was the man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've had players like Tiki Barber, Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw, Joe Morris, Rodney Hampton. We can go on and on and on. The running back was very important. The NFL today is a passing league, y'all. It ain't my fault. You know what I'm saying? So that value all of a sudden goes down when you're not running the football, all the time. With running the football is you don't have very few running teams, and the teams that do run the football a lot usually have running quarterbacks. That play off like the Giants. Like the Ravens.
But still, even
like
with
Philly.
even with a passing team, the running back position is the one that gets the second most touches in comparison to the quarterback. Not a wide receiver, not a tight end. Your running back position. I mean, even if you're pass heavy, you're still running the ball 20, 25 times per game. Now you could say that's spread out, on over certain running backs, but if you have a decent running back, of those 25 times, he's probably getting 15 of those. So a wide receiver, while they get targets, they may get 8 to 10 targets. They're touching the ball maybe 5 to 7 times.
Yeah, that's true.
But they're getting 18 to $20 million. That speaks volumes to me. So, running backs are still important, man. And that's what I'm getting at. I'm just saying, look, bring the value up. Somehow we have to find a way to bring the value up. And I just don't know. Yeah, the players agreed to the franchise tag.
That's true. That's true, Mets. That's true, man. But we're gonna switch it up here. And we're gonna talk about this Cole Beasley, James Robinson being signed. Now, the wide receiver. Let's touch on Cole Beasley for a minute. The wide receiver room is very crowded now, so it's gonna be interesting. And again, a lot of people don't be listening to what I'm saying. And I said this last year, the Giants receivers are the injuries, man. Injuries. And so, this is what the Shane is doing now, is stocking the wide receiver room, because we have players coming back from injuries, namely Shepard and Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, you have Crowder in the mix. You got this Jeff Smith. You got Colin Johnson, Ford Wheaton. So it's going to be a fight for those last couple spots at the wide receiver position. But I think Cole Beasley being signed just confirms what I already knew, what I've been telling people all year since the season ended, is that they don't have confidence in Shepard and Wan'Dale Robinson's health, and one, if not both, could start on a PUP. So you're really going to have a battle for that spot between Cole Beasley, I believe, and a guy like Jamison Crowder. If these guys aren't ready to go. What's your thoughts on Cole Beasley?
I agree with you. I mean, that just says a lot. Now, some may argue, well, what about Paris Campbell? He's a slot guy. Well, you still need depth right now. And, yes, you had Jamison Crowder, but, maybe it's something that they're seeing that they're just not confident in, like you just said. Of course, Wan'Dale and Shep. I mean, you saw my video. I said, here's the possibility. What do you do if Shep is there and Beasley beats him out? How do you handle that? As fans, we're emotional, but the business side is, what? He's a better player. So, and that frees up money. So, ultimately, I think, yes, they both start on the PUP list. Beasley knows the offense. He's a veteran guy. He can come in, he can help and, give them a certain level of production, or at least help those who are already on the roster get more familiar with the offense, so their production can, be used on the field. So, it's just another wide receiver in the room, and we're going to see how the competition plays out. That's really how I'm looking at it.
And that's a good point you made, Coach, because you need veterans. You need veterans, not just the coaches, but, the veterans to kind of teach the players. You know what I'm saying? Shepard's a great teammate. I know that, but how much of the offense is he able to spit versus somebody like Cole Beasley, who has been in Dable's system, multiple years. So I'm okay with the signing. It's okay. I think this enhances the competition, which is what you want, because you want the best players that you could possibly put out there on the field. You know what I'm saying? So enhancing the competition, making it no locks for roster spots. You know, you're going to get the guys. The draft picks, of course, should make the roster. You know, and guys you sign free agency like Slayton and Paris Campbell. But outside of that, ain't no real locks on this team. You know, you could say Hodgins, but what if Hodgins gets beat out? He's an undrafted guy. You know what I'm saying? So what if he gets cut? You know, what if what's my man's name? Colin Johnson. What if he ain't fully healthy? You know what I mean? You got to give Hyatt a spot. He's your third round pick. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I wouldn't say that this is not significant, but let's see how it plays out on the field, and we'll see. Let me get to a couple comments here, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Stopping by for my early morning show. I've been, on the grind lately, so I haven't been able to create a lot of content, man, but I always keep my ear to the streets. And we shouldn't let the media use the Johnson to highlight the issue. Again, Saquon, some right, yeah, Cook ain't signed. Yeah. I mean, that's true, man. You know what I mean? All that is true. Yeah, def is good. I agree, man. And that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to panic if somebody gets hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like we have a lot of guys that should be able to go out there and perform.
Here's the other thing too. Don't forget, even if certain guys get cut, they might get signed to the practice squad. So they're still there. So it's
Right.
Unless somebody else another team signs them, but more than likely they're going to get to the practice squad. And guess what? Something happens. That's Shane thinking ahead and just being prepared in case of anything. And I like that. So
yeah, no doubt. No real locks, only wide receiver core full of prove-it deals. I like that. Let these guys go out here because there's no number one receiver. Guess what? It's a competition. And guess what you get out of competition? You get people that excel. You know what I'm saying? Because you're worried about the guy behind you, so you're going to do your damnedest not to screw up. Otherwise, you're going to be on the street, on the bench, man. And don't nobody want that. You know what I'm saying? So I like not having high-profile receivers on this team. I really do, man. And it helps your quarterback. He doesn't have to force the ball to one particular guy. You know what I mean? So I kind of like the mix that they got right now. Honestly, but people saying the Giants are trash because we don't have this number one receiver. You don't know who can turn out to be a number one receiver. Number one receivers don't come into the NFL as number one receivers. They got to go out there and show it on the field, then become that. What if Jalen Hyatt does that? Have y'all ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about if this kid comes in and he learns the system and he gets acclimated to the NFL, and he finally gets on the field? You don't think a guy like that can be a number one receiver? You don't think a Jalen Hyatt can give you what a guy like Deshaun Jackson gave the Eagles? You know what I'm saying? You don't think that's possible? That's what Deshaun Jackson was, a straight speed guy. You know what I'm saying? But look at his career. You know what I'm saying? He did pretty well for himself. So, and I hate Philly. Y'all know that, man. But it is what it is, man. So but all right, James Robinson. Some people saying, look, he's not replacing Saquon Barkley.
No.
What this is giving them a camp body so that they can have somebody in camp because they know Saquon Barkley's not going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead, Coach.
No, and I was just going to add that he's a veteran guy and he has been productive. So I mean, because right now, it's either Breeder or Gray. And more than likely, you would say it's Gray, but here's a veteran guy. Breeder is more of a change of pace type of a guy. You fill him in, he can catch the ball. He's a little bit of speed, but he's not your bell cow. Robinson has done it. I'm not saying he's an elite running back, No, but he's a veteran guy who knows what to do, and he's a professional in the business, so he knows what to do to handle the running back position and how to get himself ready. So, it's not replacing Saquon Barkley. Not saying that, but it's still someone you bring to the table who he has to be respected. In this
Yeah.
league, he is respected.
Hasn't he rushed for over 1,000 yards before?
Yes, he has.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
he
I mean,
has.
ain't no scrub.
Yeah, exactly. So, so that's why, what, it's a nice signing. It's good to fill the room. And when Saquon comes back, what that does, guess who's probably definitely on the chopping block now? Brightwell, because Robinson will probably be number two. Gray will probably, in a sense, fill Brightwell's spot unless Brightwell just blows it out, and then you have to cut Gray because that's really or damn, I just
They
said his
ain't
name
cutting
too.
Gray, yeah.
No, I'm saying Breeder.
Breeder, yeah.
So I mean, Robinson's still a good back, and he could be a good number two. So he know, and here's the funny thing, he knows the New York market. He was with the Jets last year, so he's not going to be intimidated by the New York market. So so
Yeah, I agree, man. I like the James Robinson signing, man. Again, building your roster, having depth. You know what I'm saying? Because all the time we complain about the New York Giants when the top players go out, we have a roster full of practice squad players. Now, if somebody is not there for whatever reason, whether due to injury or contract or in trouble with the law, these things happen. I'm not wishing that on nobody, but we got people here that can fill in, and we not you'll lose something, of course. When your best players aren't out there, you're going to lose something, but you're not going to look like what Joe Judge and them put out there a few years ago. So yeah, we ain't going to be that team no more. You know what I'm saying?
Joe Judge.
And I heard he got they made him the assistant coach. I see someone on Twitter said that officially he's the assistant coach now, man. Get out of here, man. Can't wait to play the Patriots and smack them upside their
problem.
head.
That's their problem. That ain't ours, so I don't care.
That says I fully expect. Yeah, man. I think people sleeping on Jalen Hyatt. I really do, man. I like the pick, man. You know what I mean? So
hey, he makes some great ice cream.
It's so sunny like the inside, just for whatever reason. So yeah, I mean, he's a decent back, man. James Robinson ain't they got decent running backs, decent receivers. I mean, our team is balanced. I feel like more balanced, and the media goes crazy because there's no stars. They don't like the quarterback. Whatever reason, they love to throw shots at the Giants, because a lot of people in the media, are Dallas fans or Philly fans, especially at ESPN. You know what I mean?
It's the New York market too. That's the biggest thing.
And that's the biggest thing. You're right. That says, yeah, Brightwell might be out of there. The thing about Brightwell, they like is his special teams ability. So if they feel like that he can give them more on special teams than a guy like Eric Gray, which I would hope not. This is how I want the running back situation to shake out, and then we're going to put this thing to rest. Saquon Barkley, sit out. Make your point. Do what you got to do, bro. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? These guys, let these other running backs go in there. Let them get beat up. Let them do, let's see who comes out of the competition. Week 1, Saquon Barkley's going to be this New York Giants starting running back. It'll be Eric Gray. I would like to see the rookie come in and take number 2 and then Matt Breida. And if you're going with 4, now you have a competition between Brightwell and Robinson. Jashawn Corbin, I don't think he makes it. He's probably going to be for another year on the practice squad. We'll see what shakes out with Brightwell. He's a draft pick, so maybe they want to keep him around. But at the end of the day, I don't see what value he gives you over somebody like Eric Gray, who they had liked enough to use a 4th-round pick on. Basically, that's how I think it's going to shake out. You're going to see these guys come in. They're going to take snaps. Basically, you're going to be competing for the back end roster spot between Brightwell and Robinson. All right. Now, let's get into a little training camp. Training camp is coming up Wednesday. Okay, Coach. I like the little background. You switched it up on me.
Yeah, that's the other logo. That's the other logo.
Yeah.
We'll talk
All
about
right,
that
I
later.
like it. Training camp. So there is going to be some. We just talked about. We kind of touched on it a little bit. Some training camp battles. You know, you got the back end battle for the final wide receiver spots. You're gonna have a little bit of a battle there between Brightwell and Robinson and Corbin. And so, what other battles are you looking at, Coach, as far as training camp coming up? Because that's really what training camp is about. It's to get the best 53 you can going into the season. You know what I'm saying? They give you 90, you shake them up, mix and match them, do what you got to do, coach them up. You know what I'm saying? And then you come out on the other end with hopefully a Super Bowl roster. So, you know, there are going to be cuts. There are going to be some good players that we're going to have to cut this year. You know what I'm saying? And we haven't been able to say that in the past. You know, usually the people we cut don't get NFL jobs anymore. You know what I'm saying? But there's some guys here, man, that are pretty good that are going to be hitting the street, man, because Joe Shane and Dable in the front office has built, I believe, a solid roster, you know, top to bottom. So what battles are you looking at, Coach?
I'll give you 3 definite, but there's maybe a 4th one. But the left guard spot, I want a solid guy there at the left guard spot. The other inside linebacker next to Bobby O, and then your nickel slot, who's definitely going to be there. You might want to say maybe your safety, you know, with the safeties, you know what's going on there. But you know, in the nickel slot, I think I believe, and I want to see if it's really Flock's job to lose. But my concern is because they seem to love Darnay Holmes. Oh Lord. But I mean, I you know, but then again, I mean, you have all, you know, the issue with Aaron Robinson. Ideally, I would want it to be Aaron Robinson over him because then I could be a little bit more comfortable there. As far as the linebacker, because of what happened with Davis, and they haven't really signed anyone.
Right.
So you know, it's going to be McFadden and Beavers basically. You know, and we all loved Beavers last year. When you know, a large portion of the fan base loved Beavers last year. So, you know, is he going to come back and be that type of player coming back from an injury, or, you know, you saw glimpses of McFadden. He played the whole season, so you know he was a rookie. He made a lot of errors, but he has a year experience over Beavers. So, you know, and then when you go to the left guard, you know, Azuda and Bredesen for the most part. You know, I mean. You know,
Ben Bredesen be getting hated on too, man. That dude's all right, man. I mean, he ain't no star. He all right, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people be picking on Ben Bredesen, man. But I think Bredesen is a solid player.
Whoever wins that, I think, is going to be your backup interior, and then you know you have guys behind him with Shane Lemieux. I mean, let me stop hating him. Lemieux's good in the run game. You know, his injury history is what's the biggest concern, and maybe he improves in the pass game. And then, of course, Wyatt Davis. I know I'm forgetting someone else. McKeithen is on the right side.
He's
on the right side.
Davis.
Yeah.
I got the roster pulled up here.
Who am I forgetting at the guard spot?
You have Devery Hamilton.
Devery's a swing between the interior and outside. Okay.
Wyatt Davis.
Yeah, that's it. Him.
And then Jack Anderson.
Jack Anderson. That's the one. So, you know, I mean, you know, how many true offensive linemen are they going to keep? Because you got your starting 5, and then are you going to keep 3 more, or are you going to keep 2 more? So that's the thing. I mean, you got your swing tackle. So between Hamilton,
And
Phillips,
Phillips.
and Pert, what are you going
Mm-hmm.
to do there? And then interior, just like I just highlighted, the players there. So really the interior, the left guard, and I do not want to see a rotational thing. I hated that last year.
Mm-hmm.
I hated
Yeah.
it. I get it for last year. You had to do what you had to do, but this year, let's stabilize and get go with one. And if it's Bredesen, great. Azudo can just rotate in the back end and then go from there. Bredesen did well
Bredesen
for
did
us.
well.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Bredesen did well for us, but I think the coach staff wants to use him as depth for center and promote Zudu.
Yeah, of
Ideally,
course.
that's how you want it to shake up.
Yeah.
Zudu's a draft pick. Anytime you draft a player,
Mm-hmm.
you want that player to succeed. They didn't draft Ben Bredesen. He was a better player last year. Now, what hurts Azudu and McKeithen, man, is they're coming off injuries, man, and they missed that important rookie season, which we all know. So I mean, essentially, they're kind of coming back in almost fresh again. You know what I'm saying? Especially McKeithen. Azudu did get some game action, but Marcus McKeithen didn't. So
Why?
I'm a big Shane Lemieux fan. I'm not a Shane Lemieux fan.
Why? No, I want to know why.
Is that your cousin?
Why are you a fan of his? I mean, his game. What is it that you see in his game that many of us are missing? I mean, yes, he's a good run blocker. I give him that. But like I said, injuries and his pass blocking was not the greatest, and we need protection for DJ, especially in his face.
Mm-hmm.
So, but tell me what it is about that you like about his game. I mean, intensity, nastiness, okay, but you need more than that. I mean, we had that with who just left for the Reds. I mean, for Washington, whatever their new name is going to be, also. So.
Man, they got them a new owner, man. And now all of a sudden they better than the Giants.
Which is what I kind of figured. He was nasty, but
oh yeah, in the run game, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But running game shouldn't matter long Saquon. Saquon. I mean, the lineman shouldn't matter if Saquon is there, right? Right. You know what I'm saying?
The nasty mauler. Guess what? Doesn't Schmitz kind of fit that same mold?
Gates, yeah. Gates.
Doesn't Schmitz fit that mold? He is a nasty mauler. He's just at the center position. So
I want to see what McKeithen can give you.
Exactly.
You know I want to see what McKeithen can give you. Because I seen Azudu last year. It was his rookie year, so we can't give him. We got to cut him a little bit of slack. And he got hurt, but I really want to see what McKeithen can give you, man. Maybe McKeithen can be that dual guard that we need that can give you something. Because it seems like we get one or the other. We either get a good pass blocking guard or we get a good run blocking guard, and they can't put both together. You know what I mean?
The thing about McKeithen, if you go watch his tape from North Carolina, number one, he's versatile. He can play right and left tackle. He can play right guard and and right tackle. So he plays that. But the thing I love the most, we talk about Mauler. All right, he's a big dude that when he gets his hands on you and he locks on you, you ain't going nowhere, and you're not bull rushing him. They list him at around 330. I think that man's closer to 360. That's hard to do. You try to be, and he's agile. He can move his feet. So that's the thing that I loved about his tape. I mean, I was surprised he went in the 5th round, but they probably started more tape than I did. So
Matt Pert, man.
Well, I've heard that.
Who is Matt Pert?
I've heard he's looking better, physically, and we'll see. We'll see.
They said Matt Pert ain't got no heart. And if you ain't got no heart as a lineman, I don't want you out there. So unless he got, his mentality changed to where he's going to go out there and be more physical, that was the knock on Pert. Skill-wise, he's got the skill set to be your swing tackle. He's got the build, pause, and all that. But it's his mental. It's in his chest. It's in his chest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, say it with your chest. Matt Pert, man, he ain't. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Tyree Phillips is decent. We'll see how that shakes out, man. Between the backup swing tackle spot. Now, a position I want to see kind of play out. I want to see what's this edge room. You know what I mean? You got Tibbs. You have Aziz, but you don't have a whole lot after that. Let me look at the depth chart here. Jahad Ward. You have Fox. You have Ellerson Smith. And that's it. You got Ellerson Smith, right? Who is Ellerson Smith? You see what I'm saying? So
that's the biggest thing. I mean, there's probably some skill there. It's just that he's never on the field, and that's the
what's
issue.
Good, bookends? What's popping?
For me, that's always going to be the issue. It's what do we have in him? We don't know, and this is going into his third or fourth year.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. The guy ain't been on the field. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I don't know, man. And it looks like they're going back with the same group. But what you hope is you take one Kayvon Thibodeau to take that next step. But what I'm concerned about the depth at that position is because of Azeez Ojulari and his injury history. So basically, if he gets hurt, you back again with a starting lineup of Shane Zimenez and Hottie. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, I'm kind of concerned about that, man. I would have thought they would have signed somebody by now. Maybe they're waiting for somebody to shake loose that they like. They seem to, this regime, like most regimes, they seem to favor, ex-Buffalo guys and Chiefs. So, because those are where the coaches know where they came from. But Timon Fox could be that dude. He did flash last year. You know what I'm saying? He could be that dude that could put my concerns to rest. But right now I'm concerned because I don't trust Azeez Ojulari's body pause. I don't know about this guy. He is productive. He's a monster. He's a monster when he's out there, but
how often has he been out? I mean, honestly, how often has Azeez? Because we say his injury history wasn't Tibbs out last year too?
Yeah.
Can't you make an argument he's injury prone? So, I mean, I think it was last year, but prior to that, there was really no. All right, he had questions coming out of college, okay, but he produced his rookie year, and he played for the most part the whole year. So, I mean, I get it, I understand, but I'm like, it seems like we're making it like Ellerson Smith. Azeez is not on that injury list like Ellerson Smith for me. That's for me. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Just got a training camp preview from Jeffy Channel. He must have had a prep. Huh?
What?
Okay, now you got me. I'm like, I didn't get any notifications.
Me either. But Mitch and them, they control his channel, so he might have had something. Yeah, he might have had something. They might have had something up there for him. Big Pat, what's up, man? What's good, Pat? You want to hit the link? You can, Pat. I ain't gonna be here too much longer, but you know what I'm saying. Just getting back into my routine because we're gonna, this the pregame show. You know what I'm saying. So, back to training camp preview. So now one more position that I think needs to be addressed. I think you touched on it is the slot cornerback. What's good, Pat?
What's good, fellas?
Good. See you outside the stadium. I'm in the stadium.
Right.
You see that? Man, what's up, bro?
Good to see you in good spirits, man. To come on and see my guy, man.
Yeah, man, we back.
Yeah, y'all talking about training camp. Ellerson Smith, he's an enigma, man, because if he can actually do something, he can actually be that rotational guy that we need.
Mm-hmm.
We go on with Jahad Ward, but he's a jack of all trades. They play him everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
O'Shane Zimenez, he's given a lot better effort than he previously has been giving us, but I just don't think he's that dude. No disrespect to him. Tamon Fox is very young. He's very fresh. He has to learn the nuances of pass rushing if he wants to be that guy. It's a lot.
Yeah, you're right, Pat. About all that, you know what I'm saying. And another thing though that I noticed too, is these edge rushers got to get better in the run game. Would you agree with that? Because
Yeah,
we was getting killed, man. Especially, man, and coach, man, hope to get to watch some film with both of you guys. Actually, man, this season, man, I'm looking forward to that, man. But the way you was breaking it down, man, with how teams were able to get to the edge on us a lot. You know what I'm saying? They were killing us there, and a lot of that has to do with, of course, I know the linebackers,
right.
but I do think, man, that we need to get better at setting that edge, man. Now Hadi does a great job at it, man, but I can't say the same with Tibbs and Aziz, man. But what do y'all think, man? What's y'all thoughts on that?
I think they really need to work on that this year. I'm not going to get on those
Big
guys.
Dash, what's up?
What's going on, Dash?
Appreciate you.
I'm not going to get on those guys like they're 10-year vets. I mean, Tibbs was a rookie last year. We've seen what he can actually do when he actually is focused on that. Yeah. That Washington game was amazing. And if he could get to that point on a regular basis, he's going to be a monster in this league. Azeez Ojulari to me is more of a pass rush specialist. Can he learn to do it? Yes, he has the physical frame to do it. I think they both need to work with Jahad Ward strenuously about stopping the run, because both of their mindsets is pass rush. I'm just going to be honest with you. Both of their mindsets is pass rush, get to the quarterback. But when we play teams like Washington and we play teams like the Eagles, even the Cowboys to a certain extent, Cowboys really don't do too much RPO like the Washington, whatever their name is going to be, and the Eagles especially. When we play teams like that, that's when I need those guys to buckle down and be like, okay, they're going to try to come out here and they're going to try to be physical and dominate us. So let's play the run just a tad bit more than what we usually do. But once we get them in that situation where they have to be one-dimensional, now let's go get after the quarterback.
Let them loose, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see what they do this year, but that third edge rusher is a concern. I'm a New York Giant fan, but I keep it real. That third edge rusher is concerning.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
It is. What other positions are you looking forward to as far as training camp battle is concerned, Big Pat? I know Coach touched on the left guard position and the slot cornerback. Is there any other thing that you're looking at, man, going into training camp? Training camp starts Wednesday, y'all, by the way. So definitely keep it locked here into the whole Big Blue crew, because I know we're going to cover everything from top to bottom. But what's your thoughts?
Left guard, most definitely, Coach. Left guard. Right guard as well is old boy gonna step up and be the veteran. We brought him here to be Glowinski.
Yeah.
So the right guard.
Chicken
right. The third edge rusher, a second inside linebacker, slot cornerback, and I'm actually looking at safety opposite of Xavier McKinney.
That's a good one, yeah. That's a good one. What do you mean, boss? You've been hiding, Pat?
I've been putting out videos like crazy. I just ain't been doing no lives.
Respect. Yeah. But yeah, man, most definitely, man. Now a lot of people saying, I'm gonna get to one more topic, man, but I'm just gonna wrap it up with this one. A lot of people were saying that they expect the Giants, to be this passing team, because they gave Daniel Jones the money and they signed bringing in receivers by the boatload. It seems like, but
All right.
I disagree with that, man. And it's one of my unpopular opinions, man. And shout out to the Spaces, man. But I was in a back and forth about this one, man. I think the Giants are really setting themselves up, man, to use Jones and Barkley and put them in better situations, to where they're not, getting banged up by having field stretches on the field. Now, both of you guys watch film. Do you see the New York Giants really switching it up and going to a pass-heavy offense, given the personnel and everything they got? I don't think so, but a lot of people think that's what the plan is.
Well, to say pass first, no, but to include the pass more and let the run help accentuate the pass, and vice versa, because you have speed guys that are going to stretch the defense. And when you stretch the defense, that opens up other alleys, whether it's in the run game, the RPO, split zone, things of that nature. So it's more trying to be a little bit more balanced in using the pass game. So this way, as people argue, Saquon is the whole offense, whatever the case may be. Well, guess
Such
what?
BS.
That takes away that argument, that narrative, because the pass game, or a Darren Waller for that matter, because he's right there, right up the seam, you have to play him, which now opens up certain alleys in the run game, and opens up the alleys for Daniel Jones too. So so
I
go ahead,
tell you
Pat,
what
you
I
got
think.
it.
Before I let Pat go, I think they're gonna use the run and the pass. I think they're gonna be more balanced, but I don't see them being like pass first, like you said, like pass heavy. Now, where I think they're gonna pass more at, which they weren't doing last year, is in the red zone. I think a lot of the red zone, offense was kind of bottled up a little bit pass wise. They were able to run the ball obviously very well in the red zone, but I think they're going to be able to open it up in the red zone, and open up that playbook more once they get in the red zone, so that they can score more points. Obviously, you know what I mean. But that's where I see the difference with these receivers that they got now. What you think, Pat?
I just think they're just building an offense. Just to be honest with you, an offense that you can't just come out there and just be like, we got one game plan, we execute this game plan, we good. No, I think they're building to where you have to have multiple things out there because we can attack you in multiple ways. I think he's building an offense to where it's like, we got a problem today. If we don't do certain things, we're going to get blown out today. So I don't think it's going to be pass heavy. I don't think it's going to be run heavy. I just think it's going to be, we got to do what we're going to do. If you can't stop the run, we're going to be able to run the ball down your throat. If you can't stop intermediate passes, we got players, we hit you with the intermediate pass. If you like to be one-on-one, man-to-man, we got the speed to beat you down the field and make you change, man. He's building the offense here, man. It's not just one thing that we can do good. You see what I'm saying? So he's building the offense like maybe we can get like the Bengals, maybe we can get like the Bills, maybe we can get like the Vikings. Maybe we can get like those teams that can attack you in multiple ways. You got to go out there and you got to be on your toes the whole game. Nothing's gonna come easy for you. So that's what I think.
Jay Lay, what's good, man? What it do, man? What's cracking, bro? Yeah, no doubt, man. And Tudo says, heavy pass offense need a heavy, unbreakable O lines. They go hand in hand. The Giants' new O line has been very inconsistent. Exactly, man. Which is why, despite the conversation about Saquon and all of this and all of that, a lot of this season relies on Mr. Evan Neal, because if he ain't right, like last year, you're gonna get into these situations again where they're gonna have to run heavy because they can't gonna be able to pass the ball. So Saquon, when Saquon was touching on that, the 40% of the offense, the 30% of the offense. The Giants had to use him like that because they couldn't. If you can't inconsistent with the pass game because your line is breaking down all the time. Of course, you're going to use your star running back more. Makes sense, don't it? Now, what's going to help him this year, like I touched on earlier, is he's going to be sitting out training camp, so he should come in rested. And you have depth now at the running back position as far as Breida, Brightwell, Gray, and now Robinson coming in. And don't forget about Deshaun Corbin too, man. I think he's got potential as well. So a lot of this season, if you want to put a major X factor going into training camp, watch the play of Evan Neal. And we want to know, we should know what type of team the Giants going to be. If Evan Neal is upright and he's doing his thing, this team is going to put up some points. They're going to have a good offense. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I hate to put that type of pressure on Evan Neal, but a lot of it does depend on him. That's just being straight, real, and honest.
Yeah.
If he plays well, I think this offense is the sky's the limit. But if he's not playing well, we will be limited.
I'll be on for a little minute, man. I wasn't gonna do a long show, man. Usually only go up to 1 p.m. Because we break off and go over to Pat and Joe's channel to watch the games and loot. But since there's no game today, I'll stay on for a little bit longer. I ain't got nothing else to do anyway. I'm off. So Saquon wasn't effective with higher users. He slowed down. Yeah, he got gassed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, now you got a fresh rookie running back coming in. You got Robinson, you got Breida. We'll see what they do with Brightwell. So, maybe he doesn't have to touch the ball, as he was saying, 40 times a game or whatever the number was he was saying in the interview. Maybe that doesn't have to happen. And if you get Saquon Barkley's role, and I always said this, I call him the closer. He's like Mariano Rivera. You know what I'm saying? You bring him in at the end of the game and you let him do his thing and close this thing out. Bring it home. You know what I'm saying? So if you can have Saquon well rested in the later half of games and later on in the season, you know what I'm saying? Because we looking at our schedule, we're going to have some tough division games later in the season. You don't want your running back and your quarterback out of gas, so to speak, man, because they've been getting pounded or paused all damn season.
Which is why you need the balance. That's the big reason why. So,
yeah, I mean, since we're going on a little bit, what's going on?
What up, Jay?
I just woke up.
They lay over there looking like Pennywise.
Hey, no, but Pat, I have to tell you, bro. I watched that video that you and Lou made the other day.
Yeah.
You were right, bro. I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong. You was right about the Saquon thing, bro. That Nick Chubb comparison really kind of put it in perspective for me. Nick Chubb has been dominant since he's been in the league, and he's played for the Browns. And he's never been injured. He's productive every year at a steady pace. And he has breakout games, and he's the reason why that team wins a lot. And Saquon they offered Saquon more than him, and he still didn't take it. I didn't know that. Because I could love Saquon as much as I want to. I mean, he's on my wall, but I mean, facts are facts. You can't. Or he hasn't been Nick Chubb. He hasn't.
Only one that has been doing Nick Chubb shit is King Henry.
Yeah,
Henry, yeah, and that's what he was talking about with the comparisons, I believe. When he was saying that the Giants were comparing him to two north-south runners, as he put it in an interview, man. So I'm guessing that was Chubb and Henry.
I'm a break this on my brother's channel, man. You know what I think they told that dude, man? Dude, you can be a downhill rusher. Look at your body type. Pause. Like you're 200, you could play at 235 pounds with speed like that, can catch out the backfield. We think that you can be Nick Chubb, a better version of Nick Chubb, and that's why we're going to give you a little bit more than what Nick Chubb gets.
And he didn't take it. I think that's why he fired that first agent.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because remember, he was saying, basically, you know, at the bye, you know, they offered him. He said they went low, and he said, "Nah, I'm a bet on myself." You know what I'm saying? But you ended up getting lower with the tag than what they was going to give you at the bye.
yeah, the buy. It was officially at the buy, if I'm not mistaken, it was $12.5 million a year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think it's probably around 18, 19, maybe $20 million guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he has the right to say no to that. Okay, cool. But if every offer has been upped since then, because there's no way that they'll be negotiating if the deals were going down, they would have just said, okay, we're gonna tag you, whatever. There's no way they would have came back and negotiated with a lower than 12.5 million.
Yeah.
So the offers had to go up.
Mm-hmm.
And when I've been trying to explain to people this whole time, oh, you just hate and say, no, I don't hate Saquon Barkley. I'm one of his biggest freaking fans. A lot of us are.
I never said that.
Yeah.
He was talking about Twitter. I never said he was.
No, I'm not talking about you, Jay-Lay.
No.
There's no way that if they offer that man more than Nick Chubb, that's the benchmark. Him, Jonathan Taylor, and King Henry.
Well,
No, I think he wants to be paid more than what Christian McCaffrey is like, because he believes that he's a better runner than Christian McCaffrey, which he is, and just as good as a receiver as Christian McCaffrey, which is not true. It's not true. You're not as good as a receiver as Christian McCaffrey.
no.
Now, what you are better than Christian McCaffrey in the receiving aspect is when they dump the ball off to you. Yeah, you're way more of a problem than Christian McCaffrey when it get past people when you get the ball in your hand. Yeah, but actually putting him on a line running routes. When have you ever seen Saquon Barkley in the slot route somebody up?
No, he's just usually doing
Either he's wide open going down the field on one of those little seam routes, or he's catching the ball on the drag, and he catches that ball, and he can do anything that he wants to do to you. Pause when he gets you in the open field, but routing somebody up, like if there's somebody standing right in front of him, and they can really put hands on him as a DB or something like that, he can't do that to save his life. I promise you, he can't do that.
Didn't he do that? Excuse me. Didn't he do that in the Saints game when they flexed him out wide and they had the linebacker over the top and he beat him for that long?
No, the Saints game, that was just, the DB got caught looking in the backfield. He didn't route him up. He just ran past him.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he did.
Because he came up on the Evan Ingram.
You're right.
The closest thing, the closest thing you're gonna see to that is Zach Cunningham when they played the Texans, and when I think Mike Glennon threw the ball at the end of the game or something like that. That's the closest thing you're gonna see. But seeing him just right there in the slot, like playing actual receiver, no, he's not that.
Ezekiel Elliott.
and everybody destroys Darius Slayton for drops, right? When I said Darius Slayton could be 1,000-yard receiver, everybody, oh, you stupid. I hate Darius Slayton. He's trash. Do you know him and Saquon Barkley got the same amount of drops?
And that's something I've always got on Saquon about is them drops. So
and he's not running nowhere near the route tree Slayton is running out there. Imagine if he had to put that in his repertoire as well. Well, sorry, NYG. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, you good, bro. You know what I'm saying? You cooking, man. I appreciate this, man. You know what I'm saying? Glad y'all able to come on and chop it up with me, man. Y'all hit the like button, man, and go sub to everybody on the panel, man. Big Blue Crew. You already know what it is. But yeah, Pat, I've always said this about comparing when people get on Darius Slayton. Go look at your favorite players closely before you start calling this guy chopped liver, because Saquon has had a lot of drops in the past. I think he led the team, and Sterling Shepard is another one. You know what I'm saying? And Sterling Shepard supposed to be your most reliable receiver when on the field, but yet he has had drop problems as well. You know what I'm saying? So let's not get it twisted.
Yeah, every player does. But I like Vinny G's point. That's a great comparison when he says that he's like Dave Meggett when it's with Saquon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's yeah, good point.
I got into a back and forth in the spaces with my guy Mello. Shout out to Mello. And he talking like I'm talking crazy. When I'm saying there's a bunch of backs in the league that's better receiving than Saquon Barkley.
Don't say that to Mello.
Said, he broke the rookie record for reception. I said, look at that rookie season. I know you watch film, but I watch film. I'm like a coach. I like to watch film with coach. And me and coach actually watch film. We'd probably be the whole day. And I'm telling you, those 91 receptions, most of those were dump offs.
Dumps, yeah.
And they dumped the ball off to him, and he created something. He is one of the best I've seen do that. And that's not a slight at Saquon Barkley, but if you want to get paid because you're saying that you're a receiving running back, no,
he's not Alvin Kamara or McCaffrey.
No. Kamara out there, they running routes. He's not running routes like that, bro. If they had to depend on you in the slot like they depended on Alvin Kamara those 3 years he was with Breeze, and those years the Panthers when Chris McCaffrey first came out, man, we would be in trouble.
Shout out to Dave Meggett, man. Dave Meggett used to be one of my favorite running backs growing up, man.
Little bug. That's what I used to call him. He runs like a little bug, man. You know.
But so I'm not saying that Saquon Barkley should take whatever deal the Giants are giving him. If he wants to hold out for more money, more power to him, because they don't have a long shelf life. But the thing that I'm not going to take is saying that the organization is disrespecting this man. No, they showed this man the utmost respect. Because the market said $6.25 million was the highest that you was gonna get with Miles Sanders, and they told him, "Okay, we're gonna give you 13." That's more than double what the market said. That's more than double. They saying that even though you and Miles Sanders had similar stats, and Miles Sanders was actually on a better team, and they went further than what you did, and he put up similar stats. They said you're worth double than what he is.
And here's something else that I want to point out. Remember when Saquon Barkley was drafted number 2 overall? People destroyed Dave Gettleman for that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
destroyed him.
Joe Shane never made that pick.
No,
and Joe Shane is doing what you guys wanted Dave Gettleman to do, which is not overvalue the position.
Mm-hmm.
You hated Dave Gettleman for that. If Dave Gettleman was here, Saquon Barkley would have got $20 million a year.
Yep. He would be the highest paid running back in the league now.
And
he would have probably paid him before Daniel Jones.
Absolutely would have. And we would have Tyrod Taylor as our quarterback.
Yep.
With Saquon Barkley. So why y'all mad? Because this general manager is actually managing the team and putting the resources where they need to go, like your lineman that Andrew Thomas is going to get a big contract, like he had to pay Dexter Lawrence, and like he had to pay the quarterback, Daniel Jones. I don't understand it. Nah, go ahead.
Let me add to that, NYG. Now, everybody has been getting on people like me, you, Coach, Lou, Joe. Y'all too old school. Y'all ain't getting with the times. So when a GM comes in and he's getting, you want one of these 30-point, 31-point offenses a game? Name one of those offenses that have a dominant running back taking all the damn snaps. Name one of them. Chiefs, Isaiah Pacheco, he does what he does when he gets the rock.
The Chargers.
Austin Eckler, he's getting receiving. He's not running the ball like that. He ain't even getting 1,000 yards rushing.
You said name a running back. I named a running back.
I said, a running back is leading the team and carries, he's getting the ball. He's 100% of the offense, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think
Closest
any,
thing
I
is
don't think
is
I
the
don't think there's
Titans,
no
and the
running back.
Titans they were not good last year.
There's no team that has just a running back that's the focal point of the team. I mean, the only one
Mm-mm.
was the Titans,
Closest
and at
thing is
one
the Titans, yeah.
and they still had AJ Brown at one point. And he was still there.
Right,
They still had
right.
Mhm.
they still
True.
had Julio at the tail end or whatever. But
Yeah.
they got Traylon Burks, and I mean, I expect Derrick Henry to still be the main focal point.
And why did they go out and get D Hop? If you see what I'm saying?
To take pressure off of Derrick Henry. I mean,
See,
Derrick Henry's still going to carry the ball 30 to 35 times a game.
You are getting a team that's with the times with Brian Dable or Joe Shane, and I accepted that.
Yeah.
I accepted that. I said I still like the way we won our other Super Bowls when we were running the ball down people's throats during the playoffs. We were, and I still think that's a way to win the Super Bowl once you get it in the playoffs. But we're going to one of those teams that you want.
Mhm.
It's just fans that just want to be negative and find anything to say bad about the Giants. Just I don't know. That's just a popular thing to do right now, and that's what gets you clicks, I guess. But you getting the team that you want. You want the ball. You want the Patrick Mahomes throwing for 5,000 yards, right?
I
Is he
think
bringing you weapons upon weapons? Go ahead, Jay.
No, I'm saying that I'm just speaking for myself and me. I think people got so upset and everything about the whole Saquon situation because Saquon has been all we've had on this team. So especially if you're a younger cat and you ain't been through the, what I'm saying. I wasn't alive for the 80s and 90s. I was born in 90, but you wasn't, paying attention during '07 and 2011 and all that. You wasn't a part of all of that. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing you really been able to focus on and been able to cheer about or say is a good point about this team is Saquon Barkley. And after all that time, this guy comes in and he doesn't want to pay your favorite player or the guy that you've had the only thing to cheer about, for years. They're not paying him. You'd be like, it's kind of, it's sliding. It's like you're supposed to take care of your own, you know what I'm saying? Especially if it's over 1 or 2 million. But this GM wasn't here for all of that. This GM was brought in to change all of that. So he's not gonna view Saquon the same as a Dave Gettleman or somebody that's been here. Somebody, even if it wasn't Dave Gettleman, somebody that was here in house. If they would have hired somebody in house as our GM, I still think Saquon would have got his money because it would have been somebody that would have valued Saquon more than this guy coming in that's never even. I mean, thank you. He's looking at Saquon like, oh, thank you for stepping up and helping carrying the load. But at the end of the day, you're an aging running back with a bump.
Let me tell you guys something, and Coach knows this too. These fans, man, they don't watch the game, man. You want to know why these fans going so hard for Saquon Barkley and saying he's 100% of the offense and all this dumb stuff? It's because Saquon Barkley is the only thing you can see in the media.
What up, Mac? What's good, brother?
That the Giants get hyped up about. They hype up Saquon Barkley. These people follow the media to a T. That's why they
There you go.
Destroy Daniel Jones and they hype up Saquon.
Speaking for myself, I don't watch like ESPN as far for like news content and stuff like that. Or I don't pay like how Shane McCoy was saying that like he was talking down on Daniel Jones, and then in the same season, before the next season even started, he's praising him, calling him Danny Dimes and all that. So I don't. Speaking for myself, I don't know what other people.
I mean that's what they do, man, and it's there's no way possible you watching them games last season and you could say Saquon Barkley was 100% of the offense. There's no way possible.
That's pretty stupid for somebody to even. He couldn't be 100% of the offense because he wasn't. I mean, you have to pass the ball, and he's not 100% nothing. But I think he's a major part of why we was doing well. He's over 50% of the reason why we were doing well.
In the beginning of the season, yes, because we didn't have a choice. We had fucking David Seals at receiver.
No, yeah, you're right.
Preseason Hulk Hogan. He back.
We got lucky with Isaiah Hodgins. Nobody would have thought that bringing him in would have turned into what he is now.
Yeah, Matt can get on
what?
if he wants to. Pause. Yeah.
Yeah, pause. Yeah, but the thing is, Jay, when you watch the game, like actually watch the game and actually watch what happens throughout the game, in the beginning of the season, there's no way you can tell me that Daniel Jones is going to do anything spectacular with that group of receivers and the way they were playing defense. They were playing zone the whole time,
No, yeah, you were.
waiting for Daniel Jones to throw anything stupid. Like they would look like, coach, we went through it in the beginning of the season. We was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, these dudes ain't even getting out. They backpedal.
Yeah.
So speaking of Daniel Jones, and this was really the last topic I had. So people going crazy on Twitter and the media over these Madden ratings, which I don't know why, but you know, it's shit to talk about, I guess. So your boy Jones coming in at number 21, Madden rating of 75. Again, the disrespect continues with the quarterback of the New York Giants. Why is people that watch film, supposedly ex-NFL players that supposedly watch film like Coach and Pat, feel like Daniel Jones is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL? And it's not just this ranking. This is just one of many rankings that I can go through where DJ's ranked low, or near the bottom. Why is this? If you watch film, supposedly, and you see, like Pat said, DBs not getting out of their back pedal, and you're a former DB, I'm not going to name no names, but people at ESPN that annoy the shit out of me, to say the least, because their takes are so retarded. Why, if you guys watch film, that you feel like this quarterback is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league? I don't understand that.
It's television. It's television. They have the people, the writers or whatever, or the people that are saying this is the topics that are for today, are saying these are what's going to get the eyeballs. This is going to get the argument going. I mean, look, we've been talking about it forever. I mean, so it's just it's what gets the people going. That's all. That's all it is. I mean, a lot of the time, these guys, when they're talking, don't even believe what they're saying. That's why it sounds like such horseshit, because they don't even believe it. They just have to read what the executive producer says that they have to talk about.
It's all about the clicks.
Yeah. That's why I started coming to YouTube in the first place, because during COVID and all that shit, you would just be watching. I can't watch First Take and all that and Pardon, or I can't just watch that all the time. So I got on YouTube, and then it started with one, and then I just kept going, and then I found here, and then this is where I've just been at.
I just think it's a bunch of stupid stuff, and they give ratings and everything on Madden. But a lot of people will take Madden ratings and run with it. You see, Daniel Jones only ranked at 75. He's ass.
I don't understand why people. I mean, Madden is literally a video game. It's a
game. That's why it's like, that's what I say. It's like, okay, it's a game.
It's like they got Chase Young.
Games on ESPN. There was like simulation games. Who's like, this is not real.
They actually on that game have Chase Young at an 84 and Azeez Ojulari at like a 75 or 74.
What does that
mean? Chase Young ain't even played in 2 years, just about.
What does that even mean? He's at 99. Like,
yeah. I guess Saquon should be a 99 too, since he's 99% of the offense or whatever.
Right.
Everybody, anybody, shouldn't nobody in the NFL drop an out route. Like I don't think that these people in real life, these are the best people. The last guy on the team, on the practice squad, is killing every normal guy you know.
Right.
Right. At backdrops, at getting into coverage, at blocking, it doesn't matter. He's going to do that better than any 99% of the rest of the world. So what do you mean that guy's a 65 and he turns around and does a curl and tips the ball in the air. That doesn't happen in real life.
And breaking news: Kadarius Toney hurt himself in practice today for the Chiefs.
Oh, that's not a surprise.
Right.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney.
Can I guess what it was? Was it something to do with his legs, his hammy?
Hammy,
ball,
I was just about to say that, Lil Hammy, yo. Shout out to Lou, yo.
No. His damn mouth. That's what he hurt. His damn mouth.
Yeah. He hurt his jaw. Somebody.
I'm gonna call him that, man. Yeah, that's his name, Little Hammy. That's who you are, fake rapping ass.
This is crazy to me how he has a tattoo of New York, like a mural of New York on his back, and you're from Florida.
Yeah, man.
Where is he from?
People don't want to admit that they're wrong, Mac. No, that's what it is, man. They hate to be wrong. When the Giants go out there and prove everybody wrong last year, and are gonna do it again this year, those people, they go hide. They don't say nothing. All of a sudden, the noise calms down. You know what I'm saying? They love creating these distractions. You know what's a distraction? Mm-hmm. That team over there called the New York Jets. Y'all go talk about them and they Aaron Rodgers love and they Hard Knocks polls and all this and all that, man. The Giants, what the Giants are going to do, go out there and prove it on the field. Prove it on the field.
I don't think get me started with the Jets.
I don't
think they have the number one defense.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be where everybody thinks they're going to be. I think the Jets are going to be the Jets.
They're going Jet for sure. Oh man, he stubbed his toe.
He bit his tongue from talking too
much. Yeah, he's weird and misguided. Yeah, we all did, man. But now it's over. Like, leave us alone. Why you coming at New York? You know, that's when I get personal. You know what I'm saying? For real. Not thinking about you at all. Not at all.
Wasn't nobody said, man, I wish we still had. Nobody said that.
Attention whore, yo. That's what he is. Excuse my language. That's what he is, an attention whore. You know, hey, look at me.
Only people that was bringing up Kadarius Toney was the people that would try to use that to bash Daniel Jones. That was it. Kadarius Toney went to the Chiefs and was productive. This man had 16 catches for 180 yards in 9 games, but he was productive. And they used that. He wasn't even with the starters before he hurt his knee. The dude Justin Ross, who came off a horrible back injury, was on the field before him. It was Sky Moore and another Giant, Richie James, that went over there.
Richie James, that's right. Richie James is over there. I'm sure Richie James will take his spot
Richie James with the ball. Richie James with the ball with the Chiefs this year.
Yeah, he about to take Hammy's spot again.
Yeah, he about to take Hammy's spot again. He about to take his spot again.
Richie James. Richie James coming for you.
Check the private chat and let Jeff put something for you.
Oh, okay.
We talked about it earlier.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we could definitely touch on this. This shit right here is ridiculous. This shit right here.
They got
matter of fact, I can
defense.
Yeah, I can. We on StreamYard, so. We on StreamYard, so I could share the link so everybody could see this crap.
You go through that list, it's just. What'd you say?
Y'all hear that in the background?
Hear what?
There we go.
It's a baby crying or something.
She's not crying. She's yelling. She's mad. My 4-year-old, my oldest, stopping her from doing something.
You know what, J-Ray? Raising kids all my life, it's like that is just like I don't even hear it per se. Like it's
all right. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Can y'all see that? All right.
Mm-hmm.
This is the defensive rankings. This is the article, Arif Hassan. So I mean, he has a right to his opinion, unpopular as it may be, because damn sure is unpopular over here. Who has the best defense in the NFL? Our model. What model? First of all, what model are you? What is your model? You know what I'm saying? Explain this shit, man. projects the New York Jets to have the best defense in the NFL for 2023 season. Last year, New York ranked 6th in expected points allowed per play. With both DJ Reed and Sauce going at cornerback, they have a great shot at repeating. Blah, 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 blah. Now, with the Jets do have a good defense. Not disrespecting the Jets' defense, because Sauce and them, man, they're pretty good over there, man. But number one, I don't know about that. Here's the remaining rankings. So I'll go through this real quickly. Dallas Cowboys. Yep. This guy must be a fucking Cowboys fan. If you got them at number 2. Decent defense, but ain't no way. Stephen Gilmore and Trayvon Diggs. We'll see what Trayvon Diggs does week 1 against the speed that the New York Giants going to be putting out there. Because what does he like to do, Pat?
Oh,
what does he do?
He bites. He bites.
And he's gonna get burned. Now, San Francisco's legit. That's a legit defense. This shit right here.
That's the point. That's the point, man. That's the point. Washington. Wow.
Yeah, I don't get that one at all, bro.
Really? The fucking Commanders. Excuse my language. The kids in here watching, but this is you finna get. I'm finna get animated right now. What the fuck is this? The Washington Commanders are a bit of a dark horse. A dark horse. How about no horse? When it comes to Washington, finished 7th in points allowed last year and 5th in what is this analytical shit? See, here we go. Commanders did benefit from a schedule full of backup quarterbacks, so you're proving our point for us, saying they played scrubs, but they also have a fantastic defensive interior, which the Giants do. Actually, number 1 is
better than them.
Right, ranked number 1. So, and have made investments in this. Made investments. Who did they invest in? Who are these people?
Emmanuel Forbes, a rookie. That's what they did.
Okay, cool. The Patriots, all right. Buffalo, Miami, whatever. Philly should be higher. I thought their defense was actually better than fucking Commanders. Denver, Cincinnati, yada. So where is the Giants? Colts. Okay, now we getting into some scary territory here now. Baltimore, all right. The Chiefs, okay. The Saints. Detroit, Pittsburgh, Arizona, Cleveland, okay, Green Bay. Man, where the fuck is the Giants at? Tampa Bay, the Texans, the Panthers. Oh wow, the Seahawks, Tennessee, the Chargers. The Vikings. Hold up, the Vikings are better than the Giants. Jacksonville, Atlanta. Come on. Atlanta don't never have a good defense in any year.
No, Mac, we didn't skip over the Giants. There you go.
This is where they got the Giants. Number 29. Let's read what Mr. Hassan has to say. Adding Deontay Banks helped resolve some of the cornerback problems for the New York Giants, but they still have work to do there at safety and at safety. Without a strong secondary or linebacker unit, New York has to rely on what's been a modest pass rush to maintain the defense. Until the production matches the reputation along the defensive field. There's no reason to think the Giants will be much better than a bottom 5 unit. You're just a fucking hater. Point blank, period. You're a hater. After they added a cornerback, which we already had one of the best cornerbacks I believe, in the NFL when healthy, Adoree Jackson. And this is not Adoree Jackson played very, very well last year. You know, he just the injuries or whatever. So we upgraded that position. So resolving some of the cornerback problems, that's inaccurate. Now he says the reputation along the defensive line. What reputation? These guys are producing. Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams are top 10 at their positions respectively, both of them. What do you mean reputation? The production's matching the so-called reputation. We have a top 5 pick at edge, a second-round pick at the other edge positions, and both of those guys, and Aziz showed you, he's productive. My knock on is Aziz's injuries, not his production. Dude's a monster when he's out there.
Dude, you know what I'm saying? Averaging a sack a game when he was in there.
Right.
Excuse me, y'all. My bad. I was moving around. That's bullshit. What the fuck you mean that the Giants are way down there?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Dog, they got our defense ranked worse than the Vikings defense, bro.
We beat Vikings and the Falcons.
We beat the Vikings.
Crying out loud. I don't know. Why? Why the disrespect to the Giants? What did the Giants do to y'all?
And then they said it's because the D line
is moderate in the pass rush, and then the linebacker play is basically trash. That's really what he's saying.
And then we added one of the best linebackers free agency, and
look, we got young, talented linebackers. They're young, but you can't sleep on McFadden and Beavers in terms of talent. They just need to play. Them
trash, right?
And they're not trash. They have abilities. I mean, we filled the safety spot. You
don't we still got Xavier McKinney?
Yes.
Right.
Did we forget he was on the team? So what is this about the safety spot? Because we lost Julian Love? Is that what y'all?
That's what he's saying. And for the record, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, this gentleman writes for PFN. This is where this is. So that's why whenever I go through any of these schematics with the draft or whatever, I learned to stop using PFN because they're so inaccurate and totally way off base with a lot of the things they do. So, and I'm not a numbers guy. I really am not, but I can see that this is their whole system is just how do you get your metrics to get to ranking number one, saying the Jets are the best. I at least would have said, well, if you put Frisco first, all right, you have a level of credence there. But
San Fran,
Philly, Dallas. Philly, I understand Philly. Philly lost a lot of defensive
players.
Dallas, and
maybe. I mean, I'm still not impressed with Dallas's defense. But if you want to make an argument for them, I give you that. You cannot make an argument for Washington. You can't do it, yo. You cannot do it. We are better than them, top to bottom. You want to go through it? Let's do it. Who's probably one of the best nose in the game? Dexter Lawrence. So we trumped them there with Allen and Payne. I'm taking Dex and Leo over them.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Young, Pat already brought up the Chase Young point. Him versus Tibbs. They didn't even pick up his 5th-year option. Nope, no go there.
Sweat is the other one.
Sweat's on the other one. Sweat's a good player, but I still take Aziz over him. Aziz is an ascending player.
Well, we have one
if he could just stay healthy
in the league, to me, at least top 5.
Mm-hmm. I mean, don't forget Dexter. With what was his big thing? They raved about it. 40 pressures when the next closest is 13. That's crazy when you think about it in terms of interior defense alignment. And I don't care what anyone says. And this is the thing: most people don't realize how dominant of a player and a play this is. Remember the Quentin Nelson play where he put Quentin Nelson on skates with one hand and still sacked the quarterback. Quentin Nelson is an all-pro player. An all-pro.
Mm-hmm.
You don't put that man on skates like that, man. Not like that. He made him look like a damn rag doll. That speaks volumes.
Do you know our defense is better than Washington's across the board?
Yes.
When it comes to
Absolutely.
when it comes to safety and DB, we're better. Linebackers, we're actually better now that we got Bobby O because you can't name
Mhm.
Washington's linebackers either.
I
The
was, yo,
front,
Pat. I was blanking on that because I was going through the. I was like, who the fuck is they
the
linebackers?
little dude they drafted from Kentucky 2 years ago, but that's it. But our front, our D line is better than
I
theirs
think
too.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Shock the
crazy.
world. That's right, man.
That's
And they
why.
have us 25
Mhm.
spots below Washington.
I mean, if you gonna do that, you ain't gotta put us at 29, bro. Like you could have,
Yeah,
you
you could
could
at
have
least
gave
have his
us,
top 20. Good
yeah, like
Lord.
Exactly.
damn, you get
I
the
said it.
bottom.
20 to 15, and then you're going to sit there and say to say, no matter what, basically, what did he say? Let me quote his words exactly. Basically, for the Giants, here we are.
Yeah, I'm sleeping on the
For the
Commanders,
Giants,
my man. No
until the
Mets.
production matches the reputation of longer
Fast
defense,
asleep on them cats.
there's no reason to think the Giants will be much better than a bottom five unit. We're not going to be much better than a bottom five unit, basically. That's what you're saying.
That's crazy. Wink Martindale alone should have had us
Oh,
higher than 29.
I
Like
mean,
that's
did we
so
forget Wink Martindale was coaching the team? Like
you mean to tell me with a
defense?
bottom offense and a bottom defense, we went to the divisional round in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
As
The
Stocks always says,
bottom of
Pat.
the barrel.
Yeah, Stocks always says these cats talk numbers, but they don't know how to use the metrics properly to justify what they're saying. And that's what it boils down to. So, that's why I said it's hilarious. And as a coach, you know what I do? I clip this out and I put this on the message board in our locker room for our defense. And every time they go out, they just take a look at it and you look. Oh, all three of our division opponents are in the top 10 defensively, but we're in the bottom five. Okay. Okay.
Right.
We're below, but we're like almost bottom two. Like
Yeah.
Yes.
they're saying we're
Yes.
one of the worst defenses in the
Yeah, they only
league.
got they got who they got at the bottom? The
Um,
Rams, the Bears, and the Raiders. That's
in
it.
the Raiders.
Rams, Bears,
Yeah.
and Raiders. So I guess
That's
we better than them.
crazy.
Oh man, yeah.
And
It's
to put the Rams at the bottom when you have probably the best defensive player. Come on, let's be real. To put them, and
so
I understand it's a team game, but Aaron Donald alone at least gets you a five spots at least. So that's why I'm
right.
saying this listing gives me no credibility, but it gives me motivation to say to my guys, hey, look, somebody thinks you're in the bottom five. They think you're actually in the bottom four, bottom three.
Bobby McCain. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. And he left who? Washington.
Washington.
How,
Hmm.
how were they better?
And he was a starter over there too, right?
Yeah.
So
You know,
it.
our safety position is not bad. We got Xavier McKinney. Some people think Xavier McKinney has the potential to be a top 5 safety in this league. And that's a fact. That's from football people that watch film, like Coach and Pat and myself. Now, we lost Love, okay, but you guys, we still have Nick McLeod and Pinnock.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Pinnock, I'm gonna tell you what I liked out of Pinnock. Is his run defense, his blitzing. You know what I'm saying? So those parts combined, what I just named, adding Bobby O, like Pat said, hopefully bringing Darian Beavers healthy, maybe McFadden gets better. That alone should help improve our run defense. You know what I'm saying? Which was our bugaboo last year. You know, we get that run defense shored up, and I think we will. We could be a top 10 defense. Fuck bottom 3 or 4. I'm talking top 10. And yeah, I said it.
Mm-hmm.
Unpopular opinion sports. Y'all hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? But this is just ridiculous.
Man, people, they're true. They got all the NFC East defenses in damn near in the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put us at 29th. Nigga, the Vikings?
The Vikings. The Vikings and the Falcons,
people trash the Giants' victory over the Vikings because they said the Vikings' defense was so bad. But their defense was better than ours, according to this article.
Yeah, but you know how stacked our defensive line is. They ain't gonna get burnt out this year.
Exactly, that's the point I'm saying. I mean, look what's behind them in Ashawn and Nacho.
I forgot we signed Ashawn Robinson.
So it's like
he was on the team.
You look at that and it's like, all right, as long as we set the edge, teams are really not going to run on us. Mm-hmm. And if Beavers comes in and he's that thumper in the middle to take on any lead box or wham blocks, or if any team wants to run ISO, and that lets Bobby O scrape and fill and make the plays. So it's like all we got to do is
Tudo crazy. Respect, Tudo, man. Yeah, I do believe this team. I do believe they can. The Giants can have a top 10 defense. I said this last year, but you know the run defense didn't shake out how I thought it would. But I think we did get there this year. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I'm just saying, Tudo. It's not you. I'm not putting valuable time in that regard. But you know what? It just justifies that. You know what? The love against the New York Football Giants is bigger than most of us think, and it's because we are the New York Football Giants, and people just love to hate on us and create a narrative to justify their thoughts, you know, in their arguments. And you know what? It's motivation, bro.
Let me tell you how the New York media works, Coach, real quick, before I lose my train of thought. You see how they pick Jets and Giants, and we're gonna be at the Jets-Giants game, so plug. All right, Big Blue Crew. You notice how the Jets now are the darlings, and they getting all this pub now because they got Aaron Rodgers. Now they Super Bowl contenders, and last year it didn't matter what happened. The Jets was ass. They was the Jets. They got stomped on. Everybody dogged them. Now all of a sudden they one of the best teams because of one player. One player. So, do you guys think one player makes a team? You know, now they want to poo-poo the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Who had a better record last year? The Giants. What did we do? We improved for most all across the roster. But somehow the Jets adding one guy makes them a Super Bowl contender. This is how the New York media is.
Oh, and they didn't make a big deal that Dwayne Brown was put on the PUP list. Isn't he their starting tackle? But he's put on the PUP list right now to start.
And you got Mekhi Becton, who they picked over Andrew Thomas.
Yeah,
Breece Hall, Verrett Tucker, the guard, Verrett Tucker.
And that one player, what's the one thing that all offenses need to be successful? The offensive line. And yet and still, our offensive line is an issue. It's a problem. It's why we suck. But yet and still, because they get, that looks so good. Jay Lay, I'm so jealous, man. That's a good looking sight, bro.
Well, I don't know, gaming squad. I appreciate you coming by, voicing your unpopular opinion. But like I said, let's see our quarterback, running back, receivers, and all this. Show it on film right now. Show it on the field. Show it on the field, man, because they don't watch film, Coach.
If our quarterback was ass, do you know how bad we would have got beat last year?
We would have made the play. People that are saying that Daniel Jones is trash, especially after last year and him being in, having a competent offensive coordinator and head coach. You don't know football, man. I mean, there's been plenty of times where Daniel Jones has made something out of nothing and got the first down or got the touchdown. And whether he used his legs, he was throwing darts out there too. If anything, this year was the only year that he was acting like Danny Dimes. That's the only year that he's been diming stuff. He was throwing out routes like on the sidelines where only his receiver can get the ball. He was throwing.
Yeah, he's like the 5th most accurate quarterback in the NFL.
The main thing that they talk
for
about
you
with
stat
Daniel
guys.
Jones is his ball security, fumbling the ball, and him throwing interceptions. How he led the league in interceptions and all this stuff. He had the highest QBR last year. Like he was the most efficient. We were one of the most efficient teams in the red zone.
Like, you don't know football if you say Daniel Jones is ass. Because if he was ass last year, there's no way we get into the playoffs. Not with that roster.
He says, besides the one playoff game, we didn't necessarily finish the season good at all. Well,
how many injuries did we have down the stretch during that stretch when we were losing games? You do know we lost Evan Neal, we lost Ben Bredesen, we lost Azudu. Barkley was banged up. I mean, the whole defense was gone. Adoree Jackson was gone. Monroe was gone for some time. Xavier McKinney was gone. Leo was hurt. Ojulari was hurt. Like, good Lord, man. Like, you don't think that plays its a part? Look, we lost like half our defense in the Lions game.
But people don't, they don't pay attention. They're not watching every game. You know
what would it?
Okay.
What's it going to take? See what I'm saying? Go ahead, Coach.
I gotta ask him this. Okay, it's always excuses, shaking your head. Okay, so you say he's ass. Give me valid reasons, facts, to justify you saying he's ass. I just want to know what your thoughts on why he's ass.
What did he do?
Can he not make the deep passes? Technically, he can. He even showed that his rookie year. He can make all the passes. But he was a rookie. He didn't have the skilled receivers, but he threw with bad receiver play. We had.
I got you too, though. I got you.
Still threw how many touchdowns? How many interceptions did he throw last year? I mean, he's reading. People want to question. Oh, he's not reading the field. He's missing open receivers here or there. What's the scheme? Sometimes a guy, so-called open receivers are decoys. If the coach says, "Here's 1, 2, 3, go," then that's what you do. That's what your coach. But okay, you give me your facts, your justification on why he is ass.
What did he do? What was the instances that he did?
Yeah.
The acts that he did that made him ass.
This is the thing.
Only thing you're gonna say is, he only threw 15 touchdowns.
But he ran for 7.
But we all everyone said he didn't have receivers. He did not have good receivers, but he threw 15 touchdowns with no receivers.
Him and Lamar Jackson pretty much had the same fucking.
That's why they added depth. Haven't we been talking about that? I know you've been listening, gaming, but that's why they added depth across the roster. You see what I'm saying?
With one of the worst offensive lines in football. Not to mention that.
He had to run. What are you gonna do? Just
NYG, go to Vinny G's point right there. He's right there. Thank you.
Right.
And conversely, put Daniel Jones on those offenses. Put Daniel Jones on those offenses and see what he does.
Do you understand what having a good team around you? Geno Smith was out the league. If you put him with Lockett and DK Metcalf and all those people over there, he wound up getting $100 million guaranteed. Geno Smith was absolute dog doo-doo.
Okay, he answered my question. That's all I need to say. I'm done with the conversation. Y'all can carry on with it.
DJ could win 4 games and throw 5 touchdowns, and y'all will have some kind of excuse. At this point, it's just comedy.
I said, you couldn't name anything that Daniel Jones does on the field that's ass. That's all you do is bring up. Like, oh my God, if you put Dak Prescott on that team last year, we dead.
Can you just do this? Can you make a statement without saying could or would, and start saying is and has, and make a
right, Mac. Excellent point. That's the point I've been trying to make. This is why they added depth. This is why they added so many receivers. This is why they went out and got depth on the defensive line.
That's
know,
why
that's why we got
they
depth on
added
the
those
offensive
people.
line.
So
You drafted
so
Smiths.
so if Hodgins gets hurt this year, it's not me coaching NYG out there playing receiver for the Giants.
Right. Practice
Good
squad
Lord.
players, literally practice squad players. You guys wanted over.
Just make a statement without saying could or would, and that's imaginary. That's well, it could happen. Fucking
Now, beyond the stats, because everybody want to get on this stat thing, man. And we want to see touchdowns thrown, yards put up, and all this. At the end of the day, it matters about wins. Daniel Jones helped lead this team to the playoffs and won a playoff game, and he was one of, if not the primary factor in that playoff game.
He made history in the playoff game. He made history. His very first playoff game with one of the worst offensive lines in football made history.
Mm-hmm.
Not just went out there and played good. He made history. But he's ass. How can you go out there and ass and make history in your very first playoff game in Minnesota?
You know what an ass quarterback does? They do what Baker Mayfield did.
Man,
that team
what
was
ass
jacked, is. And he couldn't do jack. That's what ass looked like.
Yeah, and Vinny G, they do say that. Tyrod Taylor would have came in and did the same thing Daniel Jones do, but in 3 plays, he got a concussion, threw an interception, and almost lost a fumble in that Bears game.
I ain't mad at Tyrod, but yeah, you're right, Pat. Tyrod didn't look great at all.
And 3 plays when he came in there for Daniel Jones when he hurt his ankle. The dude threw a pick. The very first play, threw a pick. And then on the second drive, he makes a good run and get his head knocked off and almost causes another turnover.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like what? Like I don't understand
it. It is comical, man. It really is.
You want to know what made DJ better last year? If you want to give somebody all the credit, that's Brian Daboll and his coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
Because they told him, if you don't get your stupid ass out that pocket and run, you see these boys ain't out here blocking. Because when in previous years, Daniel Jones will hold that ball forever until you get his head knocked off. And you know what they said, man, if you don't use that athletic ability and get your stupid ass out the pocket, you know when them people are coming across your head.
Justin Fields is better than Daniel Jones. Let's also keep that in mind too.
Why is Justin Fields getting so much hype? Can y'all explain this to me?
Because he's running
Bears
all
had the
over
number
the
1
field.
pick.
I got a question.
I mean, we watched Justin Fields.
Is Lamar Jackson ass? Is Lamar Jackson trash?
No, they consider him one of the best in the league.
He had. Let me see. 17 passing touchdowns last year. That's 2 more than Daniel Jones. He had 3 rushing. So if they have the same stats, but how is the other one ass? Did Lamar Jackson have any weapons last year? Did he have a top tight end in Mark Andrews? What did Daniel Jones have last year? Who was his top tight end? Who was his top receiver?
No, man. So didn't DJ miss games too? So
exactly. Yeah. So how does it?
Well, last year he missed 1 game last year. He played. Remember, he played hurt in that.
You're right.
So he played 16 out of 17. They set out the last game.
Well, that's my thing though. So how is if you didn't have no name on the board and you just had these 2 stats and you said, oh yeah, these are good stats. This is good.
Okay, what's the interceptions? You gave me the rushing touchdowns and the touchdowns, but what are the interceptions? Because I think DJ had 5 interceptions or 4 interceptions.
5.
Yeah, 5 interceptions, and I think he lost 1 or 2.
What did Lamar have?
Running back.
Shit, Lamar barely played 5 games.
No, I know. No, man, I was wrong in that, and I retract.
Lamar's a choke artist. Look, let's see what Lamar do with OBJ. Since we want to hype up Lamar Jackson. Ain't no excuse for him now.
Let's see if Lamar Jackson can throw for over 3,000 yards other than that one time he did it in his MVP season.
Damn.
He has the second best tight end in the league right now.
Wait. How many interceptions? You can't find his interceptions?
Hold on,
is that low?
Oh, interceptions? Lamar Jackson had 7 interception passes in the 2022.
So he had two. He had 2 more than DJ.
So who's
in
at
far less games? In far less games.
I can have my preference. You can have your preference, but the numbers don't care.
It's the flash factor, y'all. It ain't flashy enough for him. It don't make highlights and all this and all that. That's all it is, man. You know what I'm saying? You put Lamar Jackson on the Giants, he'll be flashy and run around and do all this.
Give Lamar Jackson the same stats Daniel Jones had on his team last year, and they would be saying Lamar Jackson is elite.
MVP.
The same exact stats.
Mm-hmm. They added OBJ and Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers.
To have a MVP.
Ain't no excuses.
We all say the same thing. Yep. Exactly. You have a top defense. You're supposedly, or a good defense. So he's going to be able to be explosive. They're going to be able to stretch the field. You have good running backs. You have running backs by committee. You have power backs as well as speed backs, plus Lamar. So that offense, I'll be honest with you, I'm expecting them to average anywhere from 28 to 35 points per game.
Yeah.
That's elite. That's elite in the NFL.
Let me address this no Mets real quick. Lamar is good, though. He gets rattled late in games, but he's good. This is what I'm talking about. Watch the games. Good point, no Mets. The thing about Daniel Jones that missing. Hold up, real quick, Pat. The thing about Daniel Jones that they missing is the clutch factor. The 5 fourth quarter game winning drives. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Him coming up in the clutch in the playoffs, doing it in the playoffs. You know, doing it down the stretch of games. You know, comeback victories. I think he had 4 of them. You know, so you got to look at more than just the stats.
And this may be a little whatever. But he's a white guy running around like that. Like where has that ever in history happened?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Vanilla Vic. What they call him now, you know? I think that's his official nickname.
This is Vanilla Vic. Now he ain't no Vic at all, but I'm just saying.
Don't disrespect Mike Vick.
It's a cute little name though.
Yeah. For him, it's good. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jones
can be one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the league today. He could be.
Definitely.
And that's what he was showing, especially in that playoff game. It was like no matter what you did in that game, Daniel Jones is gonna find a way to get the shit done. They only stopped us on like 2 drives in that whole playoff game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not using an excuse, Gaming. I'm telling you,
I'm saying could, bro.
He's good. You know what I'm saying? You've seen it on the field. The dude's good. There's no excuse. I told you why. This is what, and I used to be one of you guys, a Daniel Jones detractor, as they say. But I see the game. You know what I'm saying? I watch the games. I watch film. If you need to, check out Pat, Coach, you know, myself on occasion, and watch our film breakdowns. Get a better understanding of the game before you just run out here and say this person's trash, that person's trash, because ESPN's saying so. ESPN is paid millions of dollars to talk that shit. You know what I mean? We on YouTube. This free content. Go ahead, Pat.
Do you think Dak Prescott is trash? I mean, he's had way more opportunities and has the same amount of playoffs wins as Daniel Jones.
He has the number 2 defense, and they went exactly where the Giants were. 2nd round exit of the playoffs. The Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants finished it in the exact same place when you break it all down. But one team gets all the credit, all the hype. One quarterback gets all the credit, all the hype, and the other team just gets trashed in the
But
media. That's where we at.
The Giants have always been an underdog team. I mean, even
and I like it that way. And I don't want the hype. Keep talking shit.
And Coach, I know you can attest to this. I mean, I wasn't there for all of this, but the Giants were garbage back in like the 70s and the early 80s and all that stuff. And then they came up.
What's up?
They came up with Phil Simms and Lawrence Taylor and Carl Banks and Harry Carsons, and they won them two. And then they kind of fizzled back out. And then that's when the Cowboys got their championships in the 90s. And in the early 2000s, they started to ramp back up. They made a Super Bowl appearance and lost to the Ravens and Ray Lewis in 2000. But then by 2007, they were Super Bowl champs. And then did it again a few years later. Like, we're always been the underdogs. When we won those Super Bowls, we were on the road, at least for the ones that I was alive for. We were the wild card. We weren't the projected number one seed and all that shit. We was the underdogs, and we fought and came back and fought through adversity and won those Super Bowls.
I was there for them all, man.
And so I think that's why though. The Giants, the Cowboys will always get more shine than or whoever, because the Giants are just one of those teams that are the underdogs. We play gritty,
grimy too. There you go. I was about to say the same shit. We on the same page, Jay.
We gonna hit hard. We gonna run through. We gonna, you know what I'm saying, have strong receivers, Plexico, Amani Toomer. We're gonna have, you know what I'm saying, just for y'all, if y'all don't know who's on our own roster, because obviously you don't see what's going on. So I'll name some people that you guys are probably familiar with. But I don't know. We're always gonna be the underdog, but I just like proving people wrong.
Matt says they want a Ferrari at QB. Keep disrespecting that white dependable Buick. Yeah, right, man. Yeah, Buick get you to where you need to go. That's the thing. It don't matter the style points as long as you come up with the end result. The Dallas Cowboys, I just made the point for y'all. The Dallas Cowboys, the big hype team, all this. They got the top 10 defense, top 10 quarterback, top 10 running back, yada, 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 best offensive line. We finished the exact same spot in the playoffs.
I want to address one question that you haven't got to yet, and that's Mac, the Giants fan. He says the only QB that probably could have still been successful with the receiver Jones has played with his whole career is Mahomes, because he's simply not human. You want to know why he got to be simply not human? It's because he had Andy Reid from the beginning of his career, and he sat behind Alex Smith in the beginning of his career. And then there's a monster named Travis Kelce that he's always played with. That man has been in a good scheme and a good situation his whole career. The man admitted he couldn't read defenses till his third year. So imagine if you can't read defenses in your third year, you're playing under Joe Judge's scheme with the receivers that we had, with the offensive line that we had. Like, come on, man, that dude would have got killed. And you don't even know what an excuse is, Gaming God, because that's not an excuse. Everything that I said was fact.
They're numbers.
Yeah, we spitting facts, man. This ain't no
statistics.
Ain't no excuses. I'm telling you, I'm not the person to talk to about excuses with Daniel Jones. You know what I'm saying? Me and this man Pat got into it.
They had a whole
for real about Daniel Jones. You know what I'm saying? But I am a man to admit when I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong about the guy. He's not a bad quarterback. Is he the best quarterback in the world? No. He's not trash though.
None of
us can get you to where you need to go, which is hopefully a Super Bowl.
You want to say excuse. Look at the time when the Chiefs offensive line got hurt and they weren't gelling. Look what Mahomes was doing. He was getting knocked out. And they had a below 500 record, so that team jailed on the offensive line. Is that an excuse too?
Here's an excuse. And I'm going to talk, well, I never coached in the NFL, so I will preface that. But I've coached 40 plus years. I've coached with a team that has been average in terms of talent. And we went up against a team with elite talent, so-called elite talent in our league. Guys who also were in NFL camps, and we beat them for the championships.
Sunday.
Andy Reid matters, man. That's the best coach in the NFL. Arguably.
That's how I know you don't know football. That's a
Yeah.
stupid statement. He had Andy Reid, blah blah. You know the hell Andy Reid is?
How old are you? Hold on, wait. How old is this guy? How old is he?
I'm not even paying him no mind
How old
anymore.
are you, Gaming God? Gaming God. I just want to know how old.
Look, man, you got a right to your opinion. I'm unpopular opinion sports, so you
but no,
feel free to comment. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you
put Joe Judge
here,
on the Chiefs then. Put Joe Judge on the Chiefs then if it don't matter. Put Joe Judge on the Chiefs and see what happens.
Lou always says,
Lou
always says, you know what? You're entitled to your opinion. You agree? Thank you for the view. That's as simply as that. The Giants,
look, the Giants, you know, I mean, if you want style points, man, I mean, I was at the Colts game. That game was phenomenal, man. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jones was phenomenal in that game. That was the one that clinched it for us. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the team needed, look, man, in 1 year, we were bottom of the league. And that was legit. That was a legit ranking when it came out last year and they had the Giants at the bottom. Now y'all just hating. Y'all just hating now because we proved it last year.
Man came in the league with one of the best coaches ever and a Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator in Spagnuolo.
Damn sure.
Man, you put Mahomes in Daniel Jones' situation, you'll see. I promise you, ain't too many quarterbacks gonna survive what that dude did. That's a hell of a feat.
Daniel Jones's development got stunted by Joe Judge and Jason Garrett, man.
Thank you.
That's why coaching does matter. You know what I'm saying? And so, do you think Mahomes would have developed like he did if it wasn't for Andy Reid? And think about who else was on that coaching staff.
I don't think he understands.
Bieniemy, and Mike Kafka, who's both got offensive coordinator positions now.
I'll give you one better.
He doesn't understand what all this means.
Coaching don't matter, right? When Joe Judge went over there to the Patriots, what happened to Mac Jones?
Yeah, his development fell off.
Those are, but saying in his ears, those are excuses instead of factual things that actually happened in real life. You know, I don't think he understands what's.
He will be Patrick Mahomes. Nah. Nobody's saying he gonna be Patrick Mahomes.
I guarantee you he'll be better. He'll be a better quarterback. He wouldn't have went through the growth, the stunt that he did with the Giants if he played with the Chiefs from the very beginning. I promise you that. You're the one that's not very smart, sir. You talking about Andy Reid, blah blah. Like Andy Reid's just.
Yep, you're right. Blah. I'm not smart. I'll wear the dunce hat proudly. I'm not smart.
Look at coaches. Heavyweight champ. Shout out to heavyweight champ, man. Says woo. Mad respect to NYG because he changed his mind on DJ based on facts, film study, and watching, not just looking at the game like most fans and media.
Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you.
That is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, a lot of people said I was stupid what I said about Malik Willis when he was coming out too. And look what happened.
Yeah, not performing. Yeah.
Not only could he not beat out Hobbs last year, they went and drafted another quarterback this year.
Wait. Gaming, no disrespect. Stop twisting people's fucking words around, man.
Right.
He did not say thinking he would be better. He's never said he would be better than Patrick Mahomes.
Nobody said he would have been a better quarterback. He would have been a better quarterback.
He would be a better quarterback. Yeah.
Daniel Jones was playing under that Saturday guy that was coaching for the Colts. He would be terrible if he was. If he was being coached by Brian Daboll or Andy Reid or any of those guys, he would be better because it's better coaching.
Thank you.
Yes, and watch how better the Broncos are going to be.
Sean Payton, he should be able to get Russell Wilson right.
Brother, I have zero doubt. I have zero doubt in my mind.
I think they're going to be better. Yeah.
Sean Payton. If anything, it may take 1 year to get the growing pains out because that's just what happens when you're a new coach, and he's a winning coach. So it's gonna be his way, and if you don't like it, then fuck off. But I think he's definitely it's gonna be way better. I mean, it's got to be better than what it was last year. You can't get much worse than what it was last year.
Yeah, it was. You know what I'm saying?
Even that's an opinion. Even that's an opinion. But I'm done for having my opinion, though. But you're not done for having yours. I got it.
And a lot of what we saying
how old are you?
has come true. You know what I'm saying? Like I come on here and I admit I ain't right about everything. You know what I'm saying? But we come and we have these discussions, man, Giants conversations, man, so we can educate and let people know, man. Look at the game, man. We all love football. Look at the game from a different perspective, man. Before you come with your rash comments, you know what I'm saying? You gotta watch it deeper than that, man.
We didn't say that he's better than Patrick Mahomes. The only thing that I said was about numbers and how is not a
well, according to you, what we're saying is passing it off as facts. I asked you for facts to justify your statement, and not once have you given us facts.
You're talking about what
DJ is not able to do this. DJ on the field. Look what he's missed on the field. Look where he's failed on the field. I'm asking you from the field perspective. I've given you facts from the field, but you're telling me it's an opinion. Okay. Because as we always say, Pat will tell you exactly what I'm saying. The film don't lie. It don't lie.
Look at Josh Allen and look at his regression without Brian Dable. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Hold on, NYG. He said even saying that DJ would be better than himself with Reed is an opinion. Yes, it is an opinion, but we have data to back up our opinion because he got better with freaking Brian Dable. And it's a fact that Andy Reid is a better and it's a fact that Andy Reid is a better coach than Brian Dable.
All right, guys, he's trolling. This dude is getting enjoyment or whatever the case. We're green. Okay. I'm done. Cool. I'm not even
That's
entertaining
cool, man.
no more.
Appreciate you stopping by, man. Like I said, you're welcome to your opinion. You just ain't right. It's all gravy though, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't here to you know what I'm saying, do that.
Thank you,
do
that.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Calculated observation. You know what I'm saying? What they used to call it in school, educated guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Good point, man. But yeah, man. Been rocking for a minute, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, man. But any last thoughts you guys got? As far as the New York Giants, man, training camp coming up, man. Anything you looking for? Anything that
I'm looking forward to these seeing these safeties and DBs played. You know, they said these 7-round picks. What is it? Owens and I forgot the other kid.
Yeah.
But these long guys out there, I want to see how they, push Dane Bell and stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, looking forward to seeing this offensive line and how they click. See if Evan Neal has gotten any better or how his stance changed in his position. Like, look, coach, I see you. And also who's going to step up in this linebacker room is Darian Beaver's going to, especially with Jared Davis being on the injury. Was he on the injury reserve or?
Yeah, he's on injury reserve.
So he's done for. So I want to see if Matt McFadden, because it seems like McFadden is holding the spot right now. But let's see, when we get these pads on and we start thumping around and the ball is flying.
I got this Johnson kid too, man. Undrafted guy. So that's somebody else they could stash and try to develop too at the linebacker position.
But if I had to pick something, it's going to be this offensive line and this defense. See how the new pieces of this defense are going to gel and everything, and see what happens.
Jay couldn't have said it any. I couldn't say any. I want to see the offensive line versus the defensive line, especially the interior. I want to see Smith go up against
Smith
Dexter.
versus Dex.
Yeah,
exactly.
There you go. That's a battle. That's gonna be a battle, man.
Because you have to grow up real quick in that battle.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, you got A-Sean.
A-Sean, man. He's no slouch.
Let me get you guys. Let me get you guys' opinion on one more thing, man, before I let y'all go, man. Good stuff, man. Appreciate everybody that stopped by. This is my normal time slot, man. So stay tuned, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get back on our grind, man, with the consistent content. But what about backup center? What's your guys' opinion on that? Who you think gets that job? Or you think it's gonna be this guy they signed for Pittsburgh? Or you think somebody else steps up and takes a backup center position? Because Smith is the starter, we know that, but they didn't really sign anybody except this Hoskins or whatever.
I think they moved Bredesen over and put somebody else at left guard.
It's going to be pretty. It's going to be moving around a lot. I think the interior. I mean, the outside is kind of solidified. It's going to be Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas for better or for worse. But that inside, these guards position, I think there's going to be a lot of different McKeithen,
mixing and matching,
Hassenauer. All these dudes are going to be mixing around. So it's going to be something to see, though. We're going to find out.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see that first starting lineup as far as the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we got like a month and a half until.
Nope.
It's a month.
No. Yep. The first preseason game is August the 3rd. That's a week from Thursday, and then then our preseason doesn't it start right after that? That's what I'm. That's where I'm looking for. I'm looking for preseason games to see all the battles.
You said August 3rd.
August 3rd, the Jets and
that's the Hall of Fame game.
That's the
Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the first game.
It's almost here, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's the first thing I said? I say it is game time. Let's go.
Yeah. You damn right, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm also looking. One last thing. I do want to see is can this kid Bryce Ford Wheaton crack the squad?
Oh yeah. We didn't talk about him. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
If he can crack the squad, man, it's gonna be. The receiver position gonna be an all-out war, man.
I think.
It's going.
I know y'all debating me, but I still think it's going to be 8 deep. I still think it's going to be 8 deep.
It might have to be 8 deep.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's going
to. So the PUP players don't count though, right?
No.
Well, they count to a certain extent because here.
Break it down. Because I'm a little fuzzy on that. Break it down for us, Coach.
Beasley might actually make this team, bro.
That's what I'm saying. If you put in Pup, Shep and Robinson on Pup, then that opens up 2 spots, and I could see a Beasley making it, Campbell, or Crowder, or somebody like that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got Campbell, Slayton, Hyatt, Hodgins, Bryce Ford Wheaton definitely making it, Jamison Crowder making it, and I had Robinson and Shepard because they were on PUP right now. One of them I think is not going to be on PUP. I think one is going to be on the roster and one is going to be on the PUP. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, and Colin Johnson. That's who I had. That's the 8th one. But now that you just signed whatchamacallit, I might have to readjust it now because this was way early when I did this list. So
you know the crazy thing would be cool. You didn't even have Shep. You didn't even have Shep making the team.
No, I did. I said either Shep or Wandell. One of them's going to make the roster right off the bat, and the other one's going to be on the PUP list.
I think that fool Beasley might make this team, bro.
I mean, they brought him in for a reason. Yeah. They brought him in for a reason.
I think he's going to supplant. He's going to supplant Crowder.
Yeah, Crowder. If anybody's falling off on that list you just read, Coach, I think it'll be Crowder. He might be a practice squad.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to add Jeff Smith, might be that. Smith might be that gunner. You know, maybe. But you know, we talked about gunner. But what about what's his name? Cam Brown. Cam Brown has always been that consistent gunner. It's steady. He's a linebacker too.
Yeah,
he'll
probably make it. Yeah,
so that's where unless you keep both of them. But see, that's
I don't
where
think
you add an
Carter
extra
Coughlin's
body.
gonna crack this team this year. What y'all think about Coughlin?
No,
Carter Coughlin.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna make it this year. He been hanging around for a few years, but
well, wait a
I
minute.
don't think he's gonna get through this cut.
Jared, remember Davis is gone now, so when you have Davis gone, because right now is Bobby O, Beavers, Michael McFadden. I just spoke about Cam Brown. You spoke about that other kid, Johnson. Carter Coughlin is still there too, so it's like there's spots.
Mm-hmm.
No more Sills. No more Sills. No.
Hey, he should get the championship for King Practice Squad.
Preseason, man. Hulk Hogan, him and Bachman, man. We wanted them over my man Slayton. I ain't forgot about that. I got roasted. I mean, roasted.
Absolutely roasted.
No, Pat, you were gonna say something about Colin Johnson though earlier.
Oh, he's done too. He's not making it.
You think he's done? Okay.
Yeah. Ford Wheaton should take his spot. I would like to see that actually. I would like this kid Ford Wheaton to come in and show enough to where they could say, we don't need Colin Johnson. Because don't they have the same similar skill sets? Big body guys, Pauls,
he's just way younger.
He's faster.
He's faster. And I think that's what they're trying to build, a team of basketball on grass. You know what I'm saying? Somebody used that reference before, man.
If Johnson doesn't make it, then on my list, then it'll go down to 7.
If you get when the season comes and we start running routes and everything, if we can get like a bird's eye view of just the chaos it's gonna look like on the offense, bro. It's just gonna be so.
I can't wait for these.
Can you imagine being on the sidelines waiting for reps at the receiver position in training camp? Like, nigga, you might get one rep and one.
You better be on point too.
And one practice. So you gotta make this one rep look amazing. Because I promise you, Sills might get 5 reps all training camp.
Hey, you were talking about the jug machine. You said, was it Shep or Wandell was using the jug machine earlier?
It was Shep, I think.
I think that should be a mandatory thing.
Yeah, because when you're on the jugs, when you're on the jug machine, you're closer to being on the field.
Yeah, I think it's Shepard. Yeah, I think Shepard's closer.
That's one of the
his injury happened. His injury happened earlier in the season. You remember that?
Yeah, so exactly.
He might be closer to ready than Wandell, who was later in the season.
And if so, that spells trouble because, man, Shep is a staple when it comes to the Giants. So
we can't sleep. Like, Shep is a good receiver. Like, he is
you're going to have to ball out receiver. For them to tell Shep, hey, look, man, we love you, but we're going to send you home.
Everyone talks about
made of angel hair noodles, man.
Right. Everyone talks about Shepard. Shepard is a slot guy. Don't forget, Shep can play on the outside too. So and that's the thing that I love about the wide receiver group because of the versatility. You can't just sit here and say such and such is primarily here. Shep can play inside, outside. Campbell can play inside and outside. Hodgins can play inside and outside. So, the only one that you might want to say can play primarily is outside is Slayton. Even though you can line him up inside, but for the most part,
they do some different things with him sometimes, some end arounds and stuff. But pretty much he's an outside receiver,
Hyatt can work inside, outside, but he's still a rookie. And I hope for God they do some of the same as much as I hated it. I hope they do some of the same switch concepts that Tennessee did with him. It's just that switch concept for some reason.
It was something comfortable.
And it just created so much open space. Against Alabama, anyone knows football knows Alabama, when you have Nick Saban as your head coach, the DBs are well versed at playing defensive back.
It was like that little dumb route was just unlocking. It was like holding their brain for some reason. Like I can't run over there. I got to stick with this post. I don't know what it was.
It was, and that's what I kept saying. I'm just like, what is it? I mean, it's and I just want to see if you put it in there. Can teams in the NFL adapt to it? If they pick it up, great. Then you move on. But if not, keep that shit in there because he was so wide open. And that just helps the quarterback, that helps the offense, and that helps your running game. So, I just want to see if they can incorporate it, what it does, and how it can help. because he seems to run that play so well. So
You think Hyatt? I know we're going a little bit on here, but you know what I'm saying, it's good stuff. Do you think Hyatt can really develop into that number one receiver? Does
this
he have
year,
this
A number one receiver.
this
a
year,
number one? Do you
I
think
think he
he?
needs
Nah,
it.
not this year. I'm saying, can he develop into to be our number one? Do you think
I
he's?
don't know.
Do you talent wise? Because you guys watch college more than I do.
Wide
That's what
Right
I'm asking
now,
you.
right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say no.
He'll
I
be a
think he
real
can
Same.
good,
develop into a very good number two,
yeah, real
but
good number
but
two.
a number one option, I'm gonna say
Mm,
no for right now. But I hope he proves me wrong. But right now, my answer is no.
no. Okay. Okay, yeah. I was just thinking about that because everybody say we don't got no receivers and this offense is just it's not there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying like don't overlook the fact that this kid, a lot of people early in the draft process was picking him to be a
It's a
number one round,
misnomer.
a number
That
one
is the
round pick.
biggest
So
misnomer when people say we don't have a number one receiver. We do. We have a number one target,
Darren Waller.
yeah,
Darren
right.
Waller. And
That's
ladies and
facts.
gentlemen, you forget Waller technically came into this league as a wide receiver.
He's a little
Yep.
bigger than DK Metcalf. He's DK
So
Metcalf.
so he can
Right.
play wide receiver. If Bellinger were to blow up as a tight end, you don't think that they're going to keep him on the outside or in the slot a little bit more? Hell
Mhm.
yes. Hell yes.
I think
Especially
they
if
want
they
to
know
use
they
him like
got.
yeah. I think they want to use him like Kelsey, like Tennessee. I mean, Chiefs use Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? That's the offense.
That's
You
and
know,
that's the
I
point.
think
That's the whole point. And did they always have a number one? Well, when Tyreek Hill was there, let me digress. But last year, did they technically have a number one wide receiver? Who was
No,
the number one wide
nah.
receiver? Somebody tell me. It was
no.
Kelsey.
Even Tyreek Hill's first couple of years, he wasn't a number one wide
Damn
receiver.
sure
He
wasn't Lil
developed into
Hammy.
that.
Yeah.
Right. He developed into that. But as far as Hyatt developing as a very good receiver, yes,
Yes.
I can see that. But as him as routing people up on the outside and doing things like
Mhm.
that, um, he can develop into it. I tell you what, if he does develop route running like that, he's gonna be a damn problem. I see him
Hey.
as like an Alvin Harper on drugs.
Mm.
Ooh. Mm.
Damn.
Those of
When
you
he
who
used to be
don't
opposite
know.
of Michael Irvin.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there you
Yep.
go. And
Yeah,
same
I
school,
could
they both. Go ahead, Pat, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely can develop into that. I don't know if you guys remember James Jett. He could develop
Mm-hmm.
to that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Can
yeah,
he be? I comped him to like a Deshaun Jackson. Is that on point or off a little bit?
no, that's on point. He
Yeah,
could do that right now. But I'm
yeah.
talking about as like a receiver into this
Like
league,
his
like how
overall. Okay.
Like how Ike Hilliard was before he got hurt.
I
Before
hear you.
Ike
Yeah, I
Hilliard
remember
was
Ike Hilliard.
nice
Yeah,
before he got
he
hurt.
was. He was nice with it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like that, somebody that's on that opposite side is like, yeah, I gotta pay attention to that dude, like Juju
Mario
Smith-Schuster
Manningham.
was for Pittsburgh when
No.
Antonio Brown was there.
Here's the
Mhm.
question then. Can Hyatt develop into what Amani Toomer was? Because when Amani first came in, he was a number two.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
eventually he did become the number one receiver for the Giants.
That
Yeah,
was
for a while,
So
for like
Flex got there. Yeah.
Until Plex got
for
here.
like about
Exactly.
3 years stretch, he was the number one receiver because when I hear he went down, he
Yep.
turned into the number one receiver, and he was pretty dope. And he was shit. He was the reason why we beat the Cowboys that first time going into the Super
Mm-hmm.
Bowl. He got 2 touchdowns that
Exactly.
game. So
Yeah.
I think Hyatt can turn into a very dangerous guy, a guy that you have to keep eyes on because if he catches that ball in the middle of the field and nobody's around to tackle him, good luck catching him. I think he could turn into what Miles Austin was like for the Cowboys.
Mm.
Remember him
Yeah.
before he got hurt? He was nice.
number
Jersey
19.
boy.
Yeah.
Jersey
That
boy,
used to
Monmouth
kill us, man.
University.
Yeah.
Number 19, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Was he 19?
Yeah.
Yeah.
19.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
19. So, but
19,
we need a guy to step up to be that number one receiver if we want so bad to have a quarterback that puts up so many stats. Most of those guys have that receiver that they can count on.
That's what you need. Exactly.
Who do you? So let's talk about it. Who do you think by season's end will emerge as the Giants' #1 wide receiver? Let's forget about Darren Waller for a minute.
I don't think there is one.
Yeah,
I think this is a receiving core that they're gonna pick and choose what they want to do to you. Like
Like
if you're
game to game.
Slayton.
Are you asking NYG? Are you asking who's going to have the most receiving yards, or are you
You can
just
put it
saying-
like that, but I'm saying like
Harris
Oh, it's
Campbell?
gonna be
we can put it
Slayton.
like that.
It's gonna be
Yeah, 'cause it'd
Slayton.
be- I can see well, see, I'm more on the Campbell train. I'll be honest. I think
Slayton.
Campbell is that one, who, because of the way they're trying to use him. I think he's going to be the one that could probably be pushing 1,000, if not get over 1,000 with Darren Waller.
He's more sure-handed. Is what he's more sure. I mean, I love Slayton, but he's dropped the ball in big situations. It may be it once or twice, but those one
Slayton
or two.
is going to be that. He's going to be
I'll
that
say
third
this.
passing option. Go ahead.
I'll say this. It's Slayton if we're more of a traditional offense where we're hitting curls and hitches and digs across the field. But if we're someone that's hitting those quick screens and things like that and getting the ball in people's hands and we driving it down the field that way, it's most definitely going to be Campbell. See, I think, man, they're building this team where they can tackle you just about any way they want to attack you. Oh, you don't like tackling? Let's get it to Campbell on these quick screens and shit right here. Let's see how many times you're gonna miss a tackle today and let Campbell break off 20-yard runs after the catch.
Can you imagine if Wan'Dale Robinson comes back healthy with Campbell? I'm just thinking about what you just said, like the elusiveness as far as catching the ball and getting that yak. Campbell, Robinson.
They can attack you in many different ways.
Yeah, they gonna have
once all the cream rises to the crop. Pause. Then we go and then we get a dominant dog wide receiver one. Once we've already built up all that chemistry with all those other smaller slot elusive receivers, we've built up that defense and we have that rapport with each other, and then the coaching and the offensive coordinator, and then go out and get that dog, bro.
I'll say this. Let's say we go all the way to the NFC Championship game and we lose. And the only thing we know that we needed that dog on the outside opposite of Waller. Would you be against the New York Giants giving up their first pick that year's draft, their first pick the next year's draft, a second, and maybe even a third, and move up in the top 5 and grab Marvin Harrison Jr.?
That's a lot. 2 first rounds?
You're gonna have to because we're gonna be in.
They're gonna be at the bottom, picking near the bottom.
Let me ask this then, if that's the case, because my next question is, because I get where you're going, Pat, but what happens if Cincinnati opens up about T. Higgins and they just want a first?
Oh, then you go get T. Higgins.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
You go get T. Higgins. I'll take T. Higgins for the first and the third.
Yeah, for what you just said, we're going to be probably around 29, 28 in the draft. So, yeah, you're going to have to give up a lot.
Okay.
Harrison is going to be at least number 2 and number 3 pick in this.
Yep.
No,
unless he gets hurt.
Really?
Number 3. You got what's it called from USC, and you got May from North Carolina. Those right now,
those are 2 quarterbacks. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be there. Okay. That's why I say.
Let's talk about that though, Coach, because because Cincinnati hasn't given that boy a contract yet. So first and third for T. Higgins.
I'm done.
I'll do it in a heartbeat.
I'm in because if we're at that point,
he stays healthy all year.
If the play is where you just said, yes, I'm going after Higgins and I'm giving him his contract. And then with the receivers with the receivers that we have, if Campbell plays like that, Campbell's on 1 year, so if he proves it, like I'm thinking,
he'll probably I see where you're going. He'll probably get a contract and then he'll be
Yeah,
off
so
somewhere else. Yeah.
then it's a give or take, but then again, Slayton will have to produce, and a receiver like that and Darren Waller, that's going to open up Slayton even more.
I think you're gonna see a better version of
This,
Slayton, this
this is
year.
going to be a show me year for the wide receiver room. We're going to go into the year with, like you said, 7, 8 wide receivers on there. And then next year, once the cream rises to the crop, they finna chop heads off. If you didn't produce,
Exactly.
Man, I'm just happy we ain't had to go in here with David Seals as a starter this
yeah,
year.
that
Lord,
would have been fun.
that's some bullshit.
Some bullshit.
Can't, but yeah. I would want T Higgins, but now if you can't get T Higgins, you said a first this year or this year the 24 first, your first the next year and a third. So you're basically giving up 2 firsts and a third, is what you said, right?
You probably had to give up more from 30 all the way up to number 3 or 4 or 5. Probably have to give up more. I know it's going to be at least 2 first-round picks. I know it's going to be at least 1/3. You might have to give up a second too.
I'd have to go back to the chart. Let me see if I can pull up that chart.
Okay,
But if you feel that Marvin Harrison is that final piece,
if he is
how good is I know he's good. I watched some college.
He's good.
He's
good.
Is he
that
really?
dude's a beast,
is
man.
he worth it? Is it worth it?
That dude.
Here's the thing. No, all jokes aside, man, go back and watch the semifinal against Georgia. He was killing Georgia until he got hurt. Their whole offense changed once he went out with an injury. Otherwise, Ohio State, in my opinion, they were going to be in great position to end up winning that game.
Man, that dude is like Jay Jettas and that boy from Cincinnati combined, bro. Like he got the body type of what's the boy's name from Cincinnati? Jamar Chase. The route running of Jay Jettas, and he fast as hell. He's gonna run like a 4.3.
And his daddy Marvin Harrison.
Man, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell Marvin Harrison was feeding that kid.
The best,
whatever it was, it worked.
Yeah, he was getting.
I got the draft chart. I can share it with you guys so we can look at it.
Go ahead. I'll do the shit.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up. Hold on a second.
Man,
I mean, if he's that dude,
I'm telling you, if it wasn't for the top 2 quarterbacks, it'd probably be the number 1 pick.
Do you got it?
Yeah, we here.
Okay, so if we scroll down, this is where's this? This is projections. Yeah, this is a projection for 2024. All right, you see this?
Mock draft. Right. Okay. So where they got
the right now, 22? Technically the 22. Now we're talking about in this area right around here. If you look at the point values, this is what you're looking at. We
would be like I said, the 30th pick. We lost in the championship game, so 620
to 620. Now if you look at the top number 3 is 222. So yeah, Pat is right.
That's a big jump.
You're gonna have to give up. You're gonna have to give up a future first. And then you're probably going to have to give up a second and a third, because if you go down,
probably have to give up more.
Yeah,
no, but
first. Yeah,
no, I said a second, a third, and a future first. So
if they base the future first based off what your first is worth this year,
that's only
you
what,
have to give up like 3.
That's only 1,240, like 2 firsts at number 30.
Yeah, 1,240.
So
you got to get up to 2,200. You might have to give up another first.
Call that 400. That's only 1,600.
And seeing how shrewd that our GM has been so far, I don't think they're gonna be willing to give up all that.
Yeah, so he's
being very particular about what
he does. Yeah, I don't think he's giving up 2 firsts, a second, and a third. He ain't doing all that.
Yeah, so it's hard. It's really hard. You're probably gonna have to include players in a situation like that. Then.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be
Saquon. Including Saquon.
And that's what the talk's gonna be then. You know what I'm saying? So here we are now. Now we could kind of spin it to the future. Saquon plays on the tag, he balls out. Do you include him in a deal like that?
Well, see, if he's on the tag, you can't include him unless you tag him again. And
right, that's what I'm talking about. Like a sign, kind of like a sign and trade. So what they would do, they would tag him, and the other team would give him the contract that he wants.
Depending on who's there, yeah.
All right, I gotta get up out of here. I gotta go tend to these kiddos. They starting to get a little ramp up.
Okay, yeah, we about to wrap it up, man.
Thanks for
having me. It's been a minute since we got to talk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we kind of
get back on it, man. I know, Pat, you've been making your videos. I need to make me a couple. Get my little thoughts and takes about the Saquon situation. Y'all can check that out on the G-Way with J-Lay. I know you gonna plug everything anyway, but G-Way with J-Lay.
And when I do these streams, the way I got it set up, everyone in the Big Blue Crew, the link is in the description.
Yeah, y'all go check that out, man. Let me get a little bit more.
Go to the description. Hit all the links to everybody in the crew.
Yeah, I still got under 30 subscribers. So y'all just go here and like, subscribe. My man, I'm still a little baby in this YouTube community, but I'm trying to crawl before I walk. So
right, no mess.
Come check me out though, y'all.
But we picking 22nd.
All right,
Jay.
I just put anybody who wants it. I just put the link in the chat if you want to go pull up the draft chart for next year. I'll put it in a private chat for you guys too, so you guys have it.
Yeah, most definitely. So, that's gonna be an interesting conversation though, man. Next year, do you explore trading Saquon Barkley? If this thing goes a little bit sour, I don't feel like the relationship is to that point right now. But that's something they could explore if they feel like the receiver is the missing piece. So just keep that in your thoughts, man. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get out of here, man. First I'm gonna hit y'all with Tudo wanted me to play it earlier, but the conversation been so heavy. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna hit you with the commercial and then we're gonna hit you with the outro. You know what I'm saying?
Who's mom giving who the eye?
Definitely appreciate it.
What's book is talking about?
I don't know what that
is. Mom giving you the eye. What?
Who giving who? Me? What I say? What I do wrong, Mom? I'm sorry.
Oh shit, man. For real, man. But most definitely, man, appreciate each and every one of y'all for showing up, man. Like I said, hit the link, hit the description. Go sub to everybody in the crew, everybody on the panel, man. And we'll see y'all Tuesday and then back again for the Giants conversation next Sunday, man. So we'll have some training camp news, hopefully, to report on. But, all right, y'all.
Shadow Worlds Radio, a radio media outlet. The Read and Attack Show, Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports. Go Travels, the go-to for all your sporting events. Wise Consulting Solutions, the wise choice for a better future. The Big Blue Crew, the best damn sports network on YouTube.
This is a Big Blue Crew production.